seeing it live right here at the Western Fair in London. Folks, get in here, grab a seat, free show for you. We are so proud to be here, and a big thanks to the Western Fair, as well as Boston Pizza and Toyo Tires. I hope you're ready, because you're going to see the best in the nation go head-to-head in just a few minutes.
In this country, we believe in what we're made of. Grit. Drive. The will it takes to be different. We've been called to serve this great land. Because we were made for this.
Showdown in Kelowna.
Here we go. It's going to come down to the last few hits for both of our competitors. Holy smokes. There we go.
Do it all with STIHL Battery. Power up with free extra battery deals on select STIHL tools. Shop in-store and online.
Good afternoon, London. Hello. Are you ready? My name is Dave Warren. I'm the president of STIHL Limited here in London, where our national headquarters are. And I'm extremely thrilled to bring you the Canadian Timber Sports Championship at Western Fair here this weekend. You are in for a show. You're going to see the best of the best that the timber sports community has put together. The athletes have earned the right and the entitlement to be here this weekend. So you're going to be in for a great show. The event is more than just a competition. It's a celebration of strength, skill, tradition, and community. And timber sports gives an opportunity to showcase the determination and the grit of the athletes that work so hard to be here to put on a show for you. I'd like to extend a special thank you to a couple of individuals that made this possible. One of those is Reg Ash, the CEO here of Western Fair. Thanks very much for bringing us on. And to Rob Lumsden, the Director of Operations, for helping us make sure that everything got put together as smooth. A couple of hiccups, but all in all, not too bad. To our competitors, I want to thank them for their passion, their commitment to this sport, to all of the team and all the people working behind the scenes to make this a reality. And none of this could happen without you. And I would like to just take an opportunity to say, this is going to be unforgettable. You're in for a tremendous show here. So cheer on the athletes. They love it when you're putting your hands together for them. Keep them going. Let's create some sawdust and let's get this show on the road.
Expert woodsman who can cut down a tree more easily than most people can chop one up. When it really comes to tackling large lumps, you can't beat the men of the forestry companies.
An axeman's gathering. This is Thomas losing the loss to get to it.
All right, London, you are here at the Western Fair to see the top 8 athletes in the country go head-to-head in the STIHL Timbersports Canadian Women's Division for a Canadian Championship. How are we feeling, London? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is going to be great. My name is Ryan McIntyre. I'm one of your hosts here today, and I am very excited to be back in London with the STIHL Timbersports Series. This is exactly the type of stuff that you see on TSN, and now you're going to see it live right here at the Western Fair. How do you feel about that? We got a great crowd here. Love to see it. And listen, I'm going to have a bit of help here today. I've got the Timber Sports analyst and my co-host. Please welcome up here Rod Cumberland. Rod, we've got an incredible event here today. What are these folks going to be seeing on this stage?
On this stage, we have the Canadian Pro Women's Championship. We have last year's champ, Andrea Hand, and 2 other former Canadian champions, Caitlin Reed and Stephanie Node, going to give her a run for her money. And we have 5 other really up-and-coming athletes. It's going to be a nothing but non-stop excitement, start to finish.
Best of the best. The top 8 have qualified. They're here to take home a title. This is going to be amazing. Let's take a look at today's format.
The STIHL Timbersports women's competition, all athletes will compete in 4 disciplines. The maximum points awarded for each discipline result from the number of participating athletes. The first discipline is the stock saw. The fastest athlete will receive points equal to the total number of athletes competing, down to 1 point for the last place in each discipline. The second event is the standing block chop. Points remain the same, awarded based on times, and as with all events, any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. As the third discipline, every competitor will need to show their skill in the single bite. And in the underhand chop, it's the athlete's last chance to claim valuable points. The points from all disciplines are accumulated, and the athlete with the highest point total wins the competition.
All right, before we get going, we want to say a big thanks, of course, to Boston Pizza, our title sponsor here of the STIHL Timbersports Series in Canada. As Canada's biggest sports bar, there's no place better to visit before and after the Canadian Championships than Boston Pizza.
And also our event sponsor, Toyo Tires. Control the road, own your destination.
And of course, Western Fair. My goodness, they have been so incredible, so welcoming, and so supportive. Big thanks to the Western Fair for having us. And man, Rod, we're ready. The crowd's ready. The athletes are ready. But first, we need to make sure this competition is fair and even, and we do that through our top-tier judging team.
That's a great idea. Let's bring them up on the stage now. Our official STIHL Timbersports judge, Darren Colford.
Our official STIHL Timbersports judge, she's a former Canadian champion in the women's division, Danielle Koch.
And rounding out our judging team, official STIHL Timbersports conducting judge, Jonathan Russell.
We have such an amazing judging team, Rod, here in Canada. We're so fortunate. Absolute pros. And speaking of pros, we have the top 8 pro athletes in the women's division here, and we're going to meet them. Please welcome to the stage from St. Anne de Bellevue, Quebec, Megan Creswick.
From Quebec, New Brunswick, Caitlin Cumberland.
From Wheatley River, Prince Edward Island, Brittany McLean.
From Riversdale, Nova Scotia, Caitlin Reed.
From Ormstown, Quebec, Andréanne LaSalle.
From Fort Mac, Alberta, Marie Duriot.
And from Sutton, Quebec, she is a 2-time national champion. Please welcome Stephanie No.
And last, but certainly not least, from Caslow, British Columbia, your defending champion, Andrea Hand.
Big hand for these athletes. They're going to be battling it out for you in those 4 STIHL Timbersports disciplines. We've got the best of the best here, Rod. Incredible stuff. Folks, we ask if you are able to please rise, remove your hats, and we will have our Canadian national anthem.
Thank you very much. So we're going to send these athletes backstage to get ready for the first event, the stock saw.
Yeah, and while they go and make their way down to the booth, backstage, while we make our way down to the booth, I want to introduce Sterling Hart. He's a two-time Canadian national champion in the men's pro division. You'll see him tomorrow, but today he's helping us behind the scenes. He's going to be doing some of our interviews and talking backstage with some of our athletes. Sterling, how you doing there, pal?
Yeah, great to be here, Ryan. I think I kind of speak for everybody when you say, I can't believe they actually decided to give him a microphone and put him in front of a camera. But, I'm here now, super excited. And, I've been backstage with these women all afternoon. A lot of nerves, but a lot of excitement. We've got two newcomers that have never been to the finals before. And everybody seems ready to, but I guess the main story, is Andrea Hand, our returning champion. But you've got two other former champions as well, and Stephanie No and Caitlin Reed. So it's going to be anybody's game today, I think.
Absolutely. Definitely anybody's game. We are going to be thrilled to have Sterling coming in throughout the day. Big thanks to him for coming. And folks, man, oh man, we are ready to go in our very first discipline. It'll be the stock saw. Let's have a look at the stock saw discipline.
Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut two wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark. One downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
All right, we're ready to go. Heat number one of the stock saw, sponsored by Toyo Tires. Please welcome on stand number one, Caitlin Cumberland.
And on stand number two, Stephanie Node.
Rod, what can we expect to see in the stock saw discipline here today?
Stock saw event, both ladies are running identically tuned STIHL 661 chainsaws right off the shelf. Brand new chains on them. They have 4 inches to make 2 complete cuts. So it's not over till it's over. The judge will have to check, make sure they're complete discs, and they have not cut over that 4-inch line.
National record in this event, 11.10 second. Oh, and happens to be held by
Stephanie No.
Stephanie No. World record recently set. My goodness, 8.82
Warm up your
seconds.
sons.
Unbelievable. Each competitor 15 seconds to warm up their saw, make sure that it's tuned up, cleans out the carb, gets it ready to go.
And then during the cut, need to listen close to the RPMs.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And
all right, there we go. Even into the wood, both competitors with a nice smooth cut. Even. Great run going. Caitlin Cumberland. Very clean. Good race there. Both competitors.
So 2 good runs in the stock saw. Remember, this is all about points. So they just need to get a clean cut, down and up. 2 good discs. And then, of course, if they get a time, they'll have some points on the board.
Yellow flag on the call. That means the judge is going to have a look at that, decide whether or not that's a clean cut. They can. It may not mean that it's a disqualification, but that's often what they're looking for. Could be jump gun, could be that they didn't have 2 complete discs. We'll have to wait and see.
On this stand, we have a good cut. On this stand, we have a DQ for a cut over the line.
Unfortunate disqualification there. Caitlin Cumberland cut over the line there, Rod. So what's going on when that happens?
Well, there's lots of things going on in the stock saw. It seems so simple watching it at home until you grab a saw and get up on stage. And again, you need to draw your lines on, listen to the tuning of the saw, and make sure you're cutting at the full RPM you can get out of that STIHL 661, which is a lot.
Yeah, you bet, Rod. Okay, we're going to throw it back to Sterling Hart with Stephanie No.
All right, I'm here with Stephanie. So Stephanie, first event, you lost your title last year. You're looking to gain it back. The first event, the stock saw, you had nice 2 smooth cuts. How do you feel the first event went for you?
I'm pretty happy it's over. So I looked at the line at the beginning and it looked like it was a little bit crooked, so that threw me off a little bit to start with. And the wood was quite a bit firmer than I was expecting to, so I'm just happy I made 2 good discs, and it's a good way to start the day.
Absolutely. You put forth 2 good discs on the deck, and I think that's all you were looking to do, so good luck for the next event.
All right, great stuff there. Stephanie No setting the time to beat. Just about 15 seconds and change. Good race there by her, Rod. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, and Caitlin Cumberland, one of our newcomers here to the STIHL Timbersports Pro Women's stage. So again, could be a little bit of butterflies, a little bit of nerves, but nonetheless, that'll fire her up for the next event.
Yeah, you bet. We're off and running here, Rod. This is the national championship in the women's division, the STIHL Timbersports Series here in Canada, and we have our first heat of our first discipline underway. Things are going to be rolling here today.
First one's in the books.
Yeah, I mean, when I look back at races like that, I often think, okay, where can time be made up in those neck races, you know?
So that, she had a good cut there, good clean cut. But again, the other ladies will be watching that and see what her time was, and they'll be trying to best that time, no question.
Yeah, stock saw, man, the make or break, the equalizer, the easiest event and the toughest event at the same time. You know, it doesn't have necessarily the power that you need in those chopping events. But man, anything can go wrong. There's so many things. There's so many little things that are happening when you're running that saw. You're listening to the RPMs. You're watching the pitch. You're letting it feed through. You don't want to push it too hard, but you don't want to go too light either. You're a great stock sawyer, Roy. You've had the top times in the nation in the past. What are some of your tricks in that event?
Well, it's funny because you can go from 0 to 0 in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago, I came into the national finals with the fastest qualifying time, and then I was a train wreck on stage. Like I missed the line, I cut over the line, I missed a disc. So it's a mental game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those events that I feel very strongly you need to, as a competitor these days, you need to have a 661 at home, and you need to be training this event. You cannot be training with any other saw. It doesn't feel the same. You've got to put the time in. That's the only way to get good at this event. The 661, the 93 cc's, the 20-inch bar, the stock chain, you've got to be running that saw.
And the right size wood in the backyard.
Exactly.
And having pine, that's very similar to this, and find out how that saw runs in that kind of wood. Again, it's a mental game. The steel stock saw, we call it the great equalizer, because a lot of them know what they can do with their axes, and when you get to that steel stock saw, you've got to listen to everything. As soon as that go is happening, and again, we're talking hundredths of a second, right?
Yeah,
now
tenths and hundredths, exactly.
First from 8th place, so you've got to have it down to a science. You need to be practicing it, and then when the time comes and you get up on stage, you put all that together, and away you go.
Absolutely. The stock saw event, it's one of those ones that, as you said, it's the equalizer. And we're ready to go in our second heat of the steel stock saw. On stand number 1, please welcome Underhand LaSalle.
And on stand number 2, Megan Creswick.
Yeah, 2 good, strong competitors. Younger competitors, Rod, newer to the series. Underhand, we've seen her the past few years. Megan, her first time on the stage. What's it like your first time on this stage?
Well, again, I think with a lot of the competitors, this first event is the tricky one. You want to get that under your belt. Once you finally get at it, then of course the nerves all go away and you're back into competition mode. So they'll be glad to get this one under the belt.
Yeah, again, both of them qualified through their Eastern Canadian qualifiers earlier this year. So they've already earned that one spot, which is not an easy thing to do. Just being here is a huge, huge step in the progression as an athlete.
Fleet's ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go, and we're off. Second heat of the ladies stock saw. Good race here right now, Nick and Tuck, but it looks like Andrienne is the first one through. Megan's got a little bit of catch-up to do. She makes sure her saw is set good. Oh, but Andrienne has to go back for a second set. It's going to be anybody's race. But it's Andrienne LaSalle.
Triples on that upcut, bogging, not quite getting through his clean. But 2 clean cuts, it looks like. We'll have to see what the judges say. We watch for that yellow flag because that is crucial. If they can get through the cut, all they need is a time to get some steel points. And that's what it's all about, Rod, is earning those cumulative steel points, discipline after discipline.
No question at all. So, they know that, a little bit of problem in that first heat. So you can see them trying to make sure they take their time and get those 2 cuts on the deck.
Absolutely.
Because it's critically important that you get those points. Doesn't have to be fast. Again, there's lots of steel points up for grabs here, so.
2 clean discs. That's what it's all about in the stock saw.
On this stand here, we have a DQ for cut over the line. And on this stand here, we have a good cut.
All right, good cut for Andrienne LaSalle. She's going to be happy with that. Unfortunately, Megan Creswick DQ.
Yeah, and again,
it happens.
Another new competitor to the steel stage. Could it be a little bit of butterflies, but they'll get that worked out for the next event.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing with the disciplines, having multiple disciplines is you shake it off and you move on to the next. But let's have a quick word with Andrienne LaSalle and Sterling Hart.
Andrienne, you made the podium last year. You're in the first event here at the stock saw. It might not have gone quite the way you wanted. You took out the heat, but talk us through what happened in that.
Yeah, I think I just trained with harder wood in general, like poplar instead of pine, and then I can normally put more pressure on both the down and the upcut, which was not the case with this wood today. So I should have adapted and gone lighter, but I did not, so oh well.
Well, the good news is you got 2 on the deck. You've made it through to the next event. Now we're going into the standing block. How are you feeling about that?
It's my favorite event, but it's also a tricky event. I tend to put too much pressure on myself and then mess it up sometimes, but hopefully today's going to be a good day and it's going to work out.
All right, well, we look forward to it. Stay tuned for the women's standing block coming up next.
All right, thanks, Sterling. Thanks, Andrienne. And as you said, 2 on the deck there. That's all that matters in this one. We've said it a million times. Slow time better than no time when it comes to stock saw. You just want points because we've already seen 2 DQs. So those points are crucial. They're so crucial right now.
This is one event too, like a lot of times I like watching people going before them, like in the underhand chop and stuff. It'll tell you a lot. This is one event you can probably ignore everything that's going on because when you go up on that stage, it's just you and the saw and the wood. So I wouldn't worry about watching the people before me. I would just keep going through what I'm going to do on that stage. When they call your name, go up and do what you know you got to do.
Yeah, it's very different than the other disciplines where the later heats do give you a bit of an advantage. There is some advantage in watching the stock. There's no question you can see how the wood reacts to the 661. But in the chopping disciplines, often they're watching, saying, okay, how does this look? Are we ready to go? Am I going to be faster? Maybe. We'll see. Exactly. All right, but it looks like we're ready to go in heat number 3, the steel stock saw. Please welcome on stand number 1, Caitlin Reed.
And on stand number 2, Marie Durieux.
Another close race coming up here, I'm sure. Caitlin Reed, an experienced stock sawyer. She is the 2017, I believe, 2016 Canadian champion. She won it here in London, too, Rod. It's been a little bit, but I think she's hungry for another one. I know she had a great cut just recently. Marie Durieux, she came back. She was in the Nordic Championships and did very well over there. I know that's an opportunity for her to continue to develop her skills.
Warm up your saws.
And training with a good saw guy, Jeff Larkin.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and going. Caitlin Reed, first one to the wood. Going down through it really nicely. Listen to that steel 661. And they're off together. We've got ourselves a great race here, but Marie Durieux pulling ahead right now. She could get this heat. And it is, it's Marie Dureau taking this heat in the ladies stock saw.
What a great run. Marie Dureau, 14:55 unofficially. What a great run. That's putting her in some real good contention for great points. Excellent stuff by her.
Putting a lot of heat on that last heat, or a lot of pressure on the last heat to come.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
Yeah, that's a good time. 13 seconds. Again, this is Western White Pine they're sawing, and it's a little bit sticky. Sometimes we say it's a little bit corky. It's not quite as soft and as easy going as the Eastern White Pine.
And we've got 2 good cuts.
Oh, yeah, that's what we wanted to see. Look at that. The veteran, Caitlin Reed, getting it done, showing us how. But Marie Dureau, an up-and-coming star in the Steel Timber Sports Series. She is on fire lately, and great to see a great cut from her, Rod. Wow.
Something to be said for going to some bigger shows and being on the big stage, getting the butterflies out, and then it calms you right down when you get here.
You bet. Let's send it over to Sterling Hart with Marie Dureau.
All right, Marie, stock saw. You're our new current leader in the event, unofficially with a 14.55. How did you feel after that first event?
Really good. I've never been a leader before, so that was awesome.
No, it looked technically perfect. You know, was it an advantage for you to be able to go in a later heat and watch some of the other girls go first?
I would say yes if I had been not wearing these. I saw you did an interview with Andrienne, and she said I should have been pushing harder, I think. But then I was like, did she say harder or less hard? So I think if I had listened to that, I would have had an advantage going in. But otherwise, I can't see the stage, so yeah.
Well, you've done enough to take the current lead, so congratulations and good luck on your standing block.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff there, Marie Dureau. Congrats to her taking down that heat. And again, like that is a great way to start your competition. You get that confidence, you get through the event. You know, we talk about that, the stock saw, not necessarily the one that, you know, you're going to come out and break all kinds of records. Maybe you will, but it's more about starting this competition smooth and easy because, let's be honest, we've got some chopping and sawing to come after this.
Yeah, and they're looking forward to it as much as we are, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Caitlin Reed, though, she just keeps plugging along, showing us why she's a past Canadian champion and always a contender for another title. No doubt about it. And Marie, maybe this is the day she takes home her first.
Steel stock saw. Again, anyone can win this event. That's a great equalizer. That's why, because as long as you do your homework, have a great cut here, you can take home, 8 valuable steel points.
Yeah, you bet. All right, we're ready for heat number 4, final heat of the steel stock saw. Please welcome on stand number 1, Brittany McLean.
And on stand number 2, your defending champion, Andrea Hand.
This is a premier heat. Brittany McLean, former record holder in this event. Andrea Hand, very, very competent in the stock saw, and she is our reigning champion.
So again, 2 DQs in this, so they just need to get a couple of good cuts in, and they can get some value, at least 6 valuable steel points.
Yeah, you bet, Rod.
2.
Yeah, that's right.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ladies from both ends of the country, Prince Edward Island and British Columbia going head-to-head in this heat of the ladies stock saw. Oh, and they're almost dead even after that first cut. Looks like Andrea Hand maybe pulling a little bit ahead, a little bobble for Brittany McLean, and it's Andrea Hand taking the heat.
Boy, oh boy. Brittany had a great run going on that second cut, and maybe just a bit too far from the log. It looked like maybe just a bit back. It looked like the nose of that saw sucked into the log, and she didn't quite get that clean finish she was looking for. Good race.
That's one thing I usually tell them, try to keep your saw close to the wood. Prevents that from happening, and again, a little bit of a bobble there slowed the saw down, so she had to go back and reset it again to get that cut going. So
exactly.
But still, valuable points here, as long as the cuts are good.
Okay, they're having a close look at this one. Yeah, the judges are having a look at that one. We'll see if we got a clean cut. We do see a yellow flag on the deck. Have a look at Brittany's cut. If it stands, 15.20 will definitely earn her some great points in this event.
Brittany McLean, she was who we were missing last year. Actually didn't make the finals, but very capable. She's actually leading the Maritime Lumberjack Association Ladies Division right now, so very capable and competent competitor. She did her time at the University of New Brunswick. That's where she whet her appetite on lumberjack sports, and here she is now on the national stage. So pretty proud of her there, coming from her UNB roots and doing a great job here on the stage.
Yeah, you bet. Brittany is definitely an up-and-coming star in the sport. She's won countless open competitions across the Eastern Canadian circuit and down even into the Northeast U.S. She's just showing she's an absolute force. So hoping to get a time in this event, though. That's what it all comes down to. Boy, I don't know. We'll have to see.
We're going to have a video review on this stand here for a jump gun.
Okay, rough calls there. Rough go there. Rough go there, unfortunately. Yeah, tough going there, guys. That's, boy, tight runs. The stock saw. Boy, the true equalizer in the sport. Andrea Waiting, our champion. Just rough runs in the stock saw here today. It is the equalizer. It is a tough one. Tough going there. Andrea Waiting with bated breath.
So again, last year's defending champion needing points here on the board after the stock saw event. So they're just checking over here to our right the video review to see if she did jump the gun or not. Seasoned veteran, I can't imagine Andrea making a mistake like that right off the bat. So it may just be might be just checking that, be sure, but by the smile on her face, I think she knows that she's waited the proper amount of time and she's fine. So I think Brittany's a little bit more nervous than Andrea right now, worrying about that yellow flag.
Top time so far, Marie Durieux.
After
no,
video
sorry,
review,
Andrea Hand there. If she stands up 14.83, good looking run.
We have two good cuts.
Oh, fantastic. That's what you need. Two good cuts. Boy, oh boy, they were waiting on that one. Man, oh man, Rod, the stress of standing on 14.83 and the top time of the day officially, Andrea Hand. What a great run from her. You're reigning Canadian champion, looking to take home a second title. Let's send it over to Sterling Hart with Andrea Hand.
Andrea, is that how you would envision that going in your mind this entire off season?
Yeah, I've been training with the cadence and I've been pushing it farther and farther to get right on that G. So to move my hands on that, the cut wasn't as fast as I liked. The wood was actually quite firm. Other girls came off the stage and said it was quite firm. It did feel quite firm as well, so I just had to let the saw do what it was going to do and not push it too hard.
Well, I think you definitely did that, and I haven't seen the official time, but unofficially you are our current leader. So as a returning and reigning champion, that's got to feel good to get off to a start like that today.
Yeah, it was a great start. Thanks, Rod, for the confidence in me. That was awesome. And I appreciate the video review. They're doing their job to the T and making sure that we're all coming out honest on top.
Well, there you go. Andrea Hand unofficially taking out the STIHL stock saw. She's going to get going now and ready for the standing block.
Fantastic stuff. Andrea Hand gets it done, Rod. 14.64 seconds officially, and taking 8 steel points in that event. But Brittany McLean, not to be outdone, right behind her, 14.99. The two competitors, sub 15. Marie Durieux right behind her, 15.08 seconds, taking 6 points in the stock saw. Stephanie No, 5 points for her with a 15.13 second run. Caitlin Reed, 4 points. For her steel points, she took it 17.19 seconds. Andréane LaSalle, 19.02 seconds. 3 points for her, and unfortunately, a couple of DQs. Kate Cumberland, Megan Creswick, the rookies on the stage. First year jitters, maybe you think, Rod?
No question, and again, no disrespect to them at all. It's good that they're here,
Absolutely.
And to get this experience, to be on the big stage, get that behind them, so that as they progress in their timber sports, career, all of a sudden when they're here next year again, the jitters will be gone. When they come up for the stock saw next year, they're going to be hungry.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that's it for our steel stock saw discipline. You're going to join us next for the standing block chop. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is it. We're getting the Steel Series right here in London at the Western Fair 2025 Canadian Championships. Rod.
So there's our overall results on your screen. Andrea Hand, last year's champion, taking home 8 steel points. That's exactly where she wants to be sitting. But as we said before, there's some up-and-coming competitors that are going to be nipping at her heels. And there you see Brittany McLean and Marie Durieux with 7 and 6 points, respectively. Stephanie Note, our former champion, as well as Caitlin Reed with 5 and 4 points. So the people that are going to be hunting her down are right there on the scoreboard now, and that's right where they want to be.
Things could shake up at any point here. But I think, Andrea Hand, that's the way you want to start the show. That's the way you want to start the competition. In the lead, hot out of the gates, and man, oh man, when you're talking about a close call jumped gun, that means you are dug in, you are on fire, and she is ready to go.
Yep, exactly. Again, you don't want to jump it, but the good thing is with the steel cadence, they've started to that so often. They know the stand to your timber, 3, 2, 1, go. So they're right on that in the go, and that's right where they want to be. So great run there by Andrea Hand, showing us how things are done in the stock saw. Now they're going to get out their axes and get ready for the standing block chop. Probably one of the toughest disciplines for the ladies here today.
Well, I'd say it's probably both of our favorite events as well. I always love the standing block chop, the event that basically simulates felling a tree. So you have an upright log, you're cutting halfway through the front side of the log, almost simulating the notch you would put in that tree, and then you go around and finish from the back. And it's still a relatively new event in the women's series. It's only been here about 5 years. So you're seeing the development, and you're seeing these competitors just go leaps and bounds. Every single show, every single year around the world, we're seeing national and world records broken all the time. We're seeing records broken here last year, the year before. Who are some standout competitors that you expect to see here in the standing block chop today?
Oh, baby. They all like it. And again, we've trained a lot of the ladies on the East Coast at the steel training camp each year. Andrea Hand right now is probably, and Andréane LaSalle. I'd say it'd probably be a coin toss between those two. They love the event. They do very well at it. Andrea Hand, of course, going down under to Australia, competing this spring. I mean, that's huge experience to be bringing to the steel stage here. So it'll be interesting to see. And of course, I can't forget Brittany McLean. She is coming like a house on fire right now. So this is going to be a tough one to call. It's going to be really exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I mean, the national record holder in this event is Andréane LaSalle. It's about 26 seconds and change. And I mean, that is, to me, it's still in striking. It's a great, fantastic time. but that's in striking distance. And we've seen some of the wood. What were you seeing this morning when we were looking at some of the wood in the back? It's this cottonwood from out in British Columbia. Mitch Hewitt prepared it. So what are you seeing with those logs?
Well, we're chopping cottonwood here, and of course it comes from the West Coast. And usually we're chopping poplar on the East Coast, either trembling aspen or large tooth aspen. It's a little bit firmer wood. This cottonwood is beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
And of course we saw it at the Rookie Championship up in Chesley, Ontario. The guys loved it. It chopped really well. So I'll tell you, we may see a new Canadian record here in the pro women's division in the standing block chop.
Yeah, I think it's in striking distance here today. But that's not the mentality you've got to take necessarily going up there. It's about putting in a good cut, putting in a competitive cut, the best cut that you can do. Whether it's a record or not, it's about personal best. I think we had that conversation earlier.
Exactly.
I want to put in the best cut I can do today. Whoever cuts, that's their job. I'm going to cut my log and focus on me.
No question. Every time I ever broke a record, it wasn't because I went up saying, I'm going to break the record today. Usually everything goes sideways when you go in with that mentality.
That's right. Yeah.
If you go up with the mentality, I'm just going to chop my block, put my swings in the way I'm supposed to, follow my cadence. If you do it that way, usually the record comes, it's just a bonus. You have a good time, you're happy with your chop, and all of a sudden they tell you broke record, you're right on.
Well, listen, the first word in timber sports is timber. It all comes down to the wood. You have to have great wood to see great races, and I think we do have great wood here today, but time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But man, there's going to be some super heats coming up. Man, oh man.
Should tell the crowd too, they can probably see these flashy little gold things on the top of the logs out here on the stand. Those are called slabbing nails, or they're actually screws that are put in there. And with round wood, a lot of times if the ladies or guys hit that block hard enough, you'll get a big splinter of wood come off of that log.
Yeah.
And if it comes off the log, that's one less swing. Actually, it's a huge competitive advantage. So to save that from happening, especially in good wood like this today, they actually screw those slabbing screws in to keep that from happening. Now, you don't necessarily have to use those slabbing nails, but if you do slab your block and they're not in there, that's a disqualification. So that's a little bit on that. They'll also, the crowd will likely also see some of the lines painted on here. The competitors use lumber crayons, and they actually will draw the lines on where they want to follow with that axe into the middle of the block. So that's what's happening here right now. And sometimes, if you get your block set, maybe that's what's happening. I'm not sure what we're finalizing here on the stage, but sometimes the competitors always want to finish in a certain direction so it's safe, and so the cameras can catch it on film, so our timing system can get an accurate time. And if the block was in there the wrong way, they've got to switch it back around so that we can have a good time on it.
One thing you often see in the standing block chop, as well as all the other chops, is you'll see competitors come out and they'll bring a second axe. So what's that about, Rob? What are they doing there? Are they going to switch halfway through sometimes, or is it? I mean, I think it's kind of dire if you're going to the second axe, eh?
Well, it all depends, because they do have a test block out back. So the guys have about 6 axes in their axe box. The ladies, I looked at their axe boxes when they were trying their axes. Some of them have a few more, like Andrea Hand and Stephanie Node had about 6 axes in their box. Mm-hmm. Most of the other girls had 2 or 3. So they'll try their axes, and the one that sinks the deepest and is free, you want your axe to come out of the wood very freely.
Yeah.
If it doesn't come out free, if it's sticking all the time, you're wasting a lot of energy and a lot of time chopping that block. So, of course, they test their axes, they bring up, their best axe, and then their second one in case when they start chopping this block, it may not chop the same as the one they had practicing.
Yeah.
So if it isn't the same, they may switch halfway through. But then the other thing in standing block chop, let's be honest, if you glance in the standing block chop, that stanchion that's holding the log there is not very forgiving to an $800 axe.
Oh, and that's definitely worth a switch out halfway through when you're cutting and that happens. It's I'll say another thing too. We often talk about these axes. They're razor sharp, and we use that term over and over, but I don't think folks realize quite how serious we are. They're honed and finished to a razor edge. You can shave with them. You do a lot of axe finishing. What are some things you're looking for to make sure that, I've got a perfect edge on this axe and it's ready for competition?
It's funny, you can actually tell a lot more with your fingertips than you can with your eyes on an axe. And a lot of times when guys hand me their axe, say, how's that look, Rod? Is it sharp enough? And I'll run my fingers up the outside of it. And an axe that's razor sharp, it will actually bite into your
your fingertip.
Fingerprint,
It doesn't
your
grab you.
fingerprints.
It kind of grabs you.
It
though.
does. It grabs
doesn't cut it, but it's.
It grabs it. You're right. You can feel it grabbing at your fingerprints.
If you see a few scars on those
I was
fingertips,
doing
is that
that out
from
back.
running them down the axe or what?
I was checking Katie's there earlier today, and yeah, so it's got a good edge on it. But they finish them like we file them. They're ground first, then they're filed, and then of course you use stones on them to finish them off.
Right.
And they use a really hard either Arkansas or a Punjab or something to finish that last little bit. And then we even use a leather strop to actually strop that to a real razor sharp finish. And that's what you want in your axe. If it's got that keen of an edge, it'll sink that much deeper into the wood. So they'll usually have 2 axes there. And again, if one's not chopping good, sometimes they'll go to that second axe. Unfortunately, if they would actually glance and hit a dog, then they might switch that out as well. But
yeah. You see these guys, they're putting a ratchet strap around to hold those dogs in. I mean, often there's so much force from the swing of the axe into the log. It can pop those dogs out, so they put that strap in. It's nice to have that extra feature in there. All right, let's take a look at our next discipline, the standing block chop.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
All right, ready to go. Heat number 1 of the standing block chop here in London at the Western Fair. Please welcome to stand number 1, Caitlin Cumberland.
And on stand number 2, Megan Creswick.
So again, 2 of the newest competitors to the STIHL Timbersports series. They've qualified through, as we said before, huge milestone just being on this stage. But now they want to redeem themselves. They had a rough run of the stock saw, but this is a fresh event, fresh discipline, and a fresh start. And it's fresh cottonwood, ready to be cut.
So the key is just to put everything out of their minds. They know what they need to do in this chop. Just go up and chop the block. Don't worry about racing anyone. Just go up and demolish that piece of cottonwood.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're into the blocks now. Megan Cresswell and Caitlin Cumberland sinking those big 5-pound razor blades into this cottonwood, and boys, it's going well. You'll see them chopping a pattern. They do a couple swings on the bottom, then a couple on the top. They're getting into now what we call the smaller wood. Megan Cresswell making the switch around to side number 2. She's got her drivers in. As Caitlin Cumberland puts her drivers in, she's around to side number 2 and going to start wheeling away at this block. So once they get down into this smaller wood on the backside, you'll see them starting to put some really hard swings downward, and that's to break the block off. Caitlin Cumberland trying to reel in Megan Cresswell down, but Megan's getting ready to drive things off. And there it is, the first one down. Megan Cresswell, 43 seconds and change, as Caitlin Cumberland gets ready to drive it off. And it's wobbling, and there it is.
Good race there, both competitors. Megan Creswick happy to get that first chop on the STIHL Timbersports stage in the books. Caitlin Cumberland, not to be outdone. That was a good race for both competitors. Good, solid technical cuts, and great work, both those competitors. Megan, not a bad cut there. Her lines look good. She was hitting hard and drove it off pretty clean.
She did. And actually, the crowd's probably wondering what that PB means. That means personal best. So both these ladies had a personal best time right here in London, Ontario.
You bet. Good start.
And we have 2 good cuts.
2 good cuts there. Both those competitors, great job. Well done. Again, stock saw didn't necessarily go the way they wanted it, but it's a fresh start now in the standing block chop, and they are earning points. As soon as you get a clean time, you're earning those steel points, and that is what this competition is all about. All right, we're ready to go. Sterling Hart with Megan Creswick.
All right, Megan, it's the first time that we've seen you here on this finals championship stage. Now, you told me earlier that the standing block was actually the first event that you ever started doing in timber sports. Now, that really showed in this that last chop. Just talk me through that event.
Yeah, well, it's definitely the event I've practiced the most. And really today I was just trying to follow my lines, be accurate, not rush things. And yeah, it went, pretty well. The wood's good, so I was happy with it.
I think you should be very happy with that. That was a great cut. And congratulations and good luck with the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks, Sterling. Great job, Megan Creswick, taking down the first heat of the standing block chop here in London, the Western Fair. What a great start by her. Great cut. I mean, really, that's what you want to see. You want to have those nice, smooth, big hits. She was showing us she's clearly comfortable in that event.
No question. Actually, a lot of these, we should tell the crowd where a lot of these ladies have got their start. Most of them actually come up through the college ranks. And
right.
Megan Creswick, Stephanie Node, and Andrea LaSalle, all coming from the McGill College, McDonald College in Montreal.
Yep.
They started there on the Lumberjack team, and that's they're a member of the Canadian Intercollegiate Lumberjack Association. So also sponsored by STIHL TIMBERSPORTS. So.
Yeah, the Canadian Intercollegiate Lumberjacking Association, CELA as we call it, basically the university college level. I would call it the feeder program for the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS series here in Canada, or at least one of the key components to the feeder program, certainly in Eastern Canada. And that's where a lot of these competitors are coming from, not just in the women's division, the rookie division, we're seeing in the men's division. We both came out of that program. It's a fantastic system that they have. It introduces a lot of competitors to the sport, and now look at them. They're up on the biggest stage here in the country, trying to battle it out for a national title.
Exactly. Also, the Nova Scotia, well, we used to call the Nova Scotia Agriculture College when I went there, but it's now the Dalhousie Agricultural Campus.
That's right.
They have a lumberjack team there as well, Woodsman's team, and the University of New Brunswick, and of course, Brittany from the University of New Brunswick. Caitlin Reed and Marie Giroux both went to the Dalhousie Agricultural Campus. So a lot of these ladies getting their start in the CELA League on route to the Pro Women's Championship.
Yeah, it's true. Well, 7 of the 8 came out of CELA. It's Andrea Hand, our reigning champion. She's the only one who did it, and boy, she's showing us how it's done. Leading the points going into this event, but now we're going to see who's going to take down the standing block chop. Please welcome up to the stage in heat number 2 on stand number 1, Marie Durieux.
And on stand number 2, Stephanie Node.
Both these competitors, very competent competitors, very competent with the axe. I've enjoyed watching them both cut this. Stephanie Node, excellent wood chopper. Marie hasn't been around the sport all that long, but just continues to get better and better and better. Went to the Nordic Cup, just came back from Squamish, the biggest, logger sports event in the country. But man, she's got her hands full with the 2-time national champion, Stephanie Node, in this heat.
So time to beat, roughly 43 seconds and change. 43.70 set by Megan Creswick in that last heat.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And we're off. Second heat of the ladies standing block chop. Stephanie Node taking big swings at this block. Marie Giroux getting a good swings on those up drivers that she wants to slice in there. Both ladies getting into the small wood, and it's Stephanie Node, the first one around the second side. 16 seconds and change, so she's looking like she's in the low 30s if she keeps this pace up. Marie Giroux also getting into this big wood on the second side. The chips are flying now as Stephanie gets into the smaller wood, and she's starting to drive things off here. It's going to be Stephanie Node. 1 or 2 more swings. How about it?
Nice cut. Great looking cut.
Marie Giroux, she's getting down to the small wood as well, and she's going to be driving it off, reaching for that far wood, letting the axe hang out, and it's coming down right now, 48.8.
2 clean looking cuts there. Stephanie Node had a heck of a front side. She was leaning into those hits, big sweeping blows. Backside maybe a little bit tougher than the front. She was certainly cleaning out that wood well in the front.
Sometimes that happens. You get a block of wood and you'll get a drier side on one side or the other, and the axe won't sink quite as bad. And it did look like it was a little bit firmer on the backside.
Yeah.
Had a little bit took a little bit longer to drive that off than normal, but I'm sure she'll be pretty happy with that time.
Two good cuts there. That's what they want to hear. Again, it's points all the way. Stephanie No with that cut. I mean, 36 and change, roughly where you want to be sitting. You know, that's a good position after, you know, it's the second heat. You could have 3 or 4 faster times, but I mean, that's a darn good cut. All right, ready to go here. Sterling Hart with Stephanie No.
All right, Stephanie, stock dolls out of the way, into the standing block, which from all aspects looks like a very strong event for you. How do you feel like that went?
I think it went pretty well. I'm pretty happy because I've been struggling with a back injury, so I'm happy it worked out well. I think I undercut my front a little bit, but I spent a little too much time on my backside. But overall, the wood was pretty good. The axe liked it, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, you've done enough to be our new current leader, so great job. And we're going to go back to you, Ryan, out front.
Hey, great job there, Sterling, and well done, Stephanie No, taking down that heat, Rod, taking down Marie Derrieux, but that was a great cut by her as well. It wasn't, you know, this is a tough event. You've got to lean into that axe, but you've also not got to, as you say many times, don't grip it too tight. You know, it's a nice loose grip.
Yeah, the death grip.
It's such a challenging event. I mean, what are some of the things that you go through when you're trying to master an event like this and follow your lines and hit, but also hit with lots of power and pace?
Well, the crowd probably sees that they're swinging up at a 45-degree angle and down at a 45-degree angle. Swinging down at 45 is pretty easy, but it's getting that upswing at 45-degree angle that's really the toughest part of this event.
Sure is.
So usually we train them to drop your shoulder, tuck your chin under your other shoulder, and that when your shoulders get at that 45-degree angle, it's a whole lot easier for them to follow that line into their block. So you saw Stephanie No doing a great job of that. Actually, both ladies did a good job of that.
Yeah, she looked very comfortable. You can tell she's been putting a lot of time into that event. And, you know, she's very tall, and she uses that tall frame to really get that axe up. Those downswings just looked beautiful. That front side really was. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but I think she was around about 13 seconds, and I thought, oh boy, you know, we're in for something here. But I really do think she may have ran into a bit of tougher wood on the backside, and then that happens, as you said. You know, no two pieces of wood are the same. You have to you try to read the block. It's always a bit easier in the underhand because you have the chance to cut footholds and get a feel for it. The standing, how would you figure out what the wood is going to be like in the standing versus an underhand where you get to cut footholds and test your axe in it?
Well, the good thing is they're chopping cottonwood in both the underhand and the standing. So really what they see and what happens in their underhand block when they're preparing their footholds will probably hold in the standing block. But the other thing as well, we talk about actually watching the heat ahead of you. This is one of the events you do want to watch the people ahead of you and see how many swings they're putting in and how the wood's falling out and how it's chopping.
Absolutely. And we're ready to see how the wood is going to fall out in the next heat. Heat number 3 of the standing block chop. Please welcome to stand number 1, Caitlin Reed.
And on stand number 2, your current standing block record holder in Canada, Andrea LaSalle.
Andrianne, again, coming out of McGill, coming out of, well, really, she's a prodigy of Stephanie No's. She's come out of that program, but man, she has come into her own and owns the standing block national record, 26.36 seconds. Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely stunning stuff.
Well, we'll see how she makes out here with her record right now, 34.2 seconds, and this is nice cottonwood. So we'll see how this goes down in this next heat.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And Caitlin Reed with a big swing there on her first swing into that cottonwood. Sent the axe a little bit in the air, but she settled right down now, and her axe is chopping this wood beautifully.
Yeah, it really is.
She's into the small wood already. Andrea LaSalle also. They make their turn together. What a race here in this heat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind them, cheer them on. We've got some good times going here. Can they set a national record here at the Western Fair?
Oh, she's driving, buddy. Here it comes, Andrea LaSalle.
One more swing. Oh, it's going to be close.
Great finish by her.
Caitlin Reed getting into the small wood. She's taking a few more chips, and now she's going to be looking at driving things off. That block's starting to wobble. And it's coming here. Caitlin Reed.
Tough event. Boy, even field. You know, so far we're seeing very similar times right across the board.
Well, Andrian really close to her national record there at 35. I thought she was actually going to get it there once.
I thought so too. Very close. 34
and I think the
change.
excitement, she had a couple of missed hits there driving it off, and then finally hit that sweet spot, and away it went.
Yeah, Andrian, good cut
and
there.
We have two
Not
good
quite
cuts.
Good enough. Yeah, good cut there. Great job. Great stuff. More fantastic cutting by these competitors. Look like 35 and change. I don't think it'll be enough to take down that record. We will see that we may see the times adjust slightly with the official time, but awfully close. Still a good cut. The woods, you know, that wood is chipping nice, and it does seem like they're choosing the right axes. They're being, you know, they're finding the right tool for the job, as it were. What are some things that you go through when you're really trying to pick that axe, especially for standing? Because I know you talk to me a lot about handles.
Well, like I say, usually the underhand chop is what's going to dictate what you're going to do in standing. And a lot of times, actually, the advice I gave Caitlin, I said, you know, go with the axe that you're most comfortable with. And a lot of times, that's the thing to do. You've got an axe that you get a lot of confidence in. That's as valuable, really, as one that'll sink a little bit deeper.
Yep. Yeah, boy, close races here today. It'll be awfully hard to pick who's going to take this thing home today, Rod. I don't know. But the standing block chop, we're just motoring through it.
The other thing, if you look at the ladies' blocks, what you want to see is a nice smooth surface right into the middle of the block on both their top and their bottom swings. There's lots of steps I'm seeing right now in the first few heats.
Yeah, you bet. All right, let's send it over to Sterling with Andrian LaSalle.
Andrian, how do you feel like that went? You've done enough. You're our new current leader. Talk me through that chop a little bit.
It went okay. Like, the axe really went into the wood. I liked the wood, so good axe choice. My accuracy was a bit off. Like, I had big steps on both my sides and one big scoop as well. So this cost me a bit of time there, but it went okay.
It cost you a bit of time, but you know, you've been at this a few years now, and you were able to recover very well from having those mishits and get right back into your rhythm. So now, do you feel like this momentum's going to carry forward, or is this one going to linger in your mind for a little bit?
Nah, one thing at a time. Next thing is the single buck, so we'll focus on that and see how it goes.
All right, well, great job in the standing block, and we're going to move forward into the single buck.
Yeah, great stuff there, guys. Great chopping by Andrian LaSalle. She talked about the steps there, Rod. Talk about that a little bit.
That's what I was mentioning before. If you look at you want your upswings and your downswings to go in the same place every time, so it's almost smooth right into the middle of the block. So a lot of times when you see those steps, they're chopping wood that they've already chopped before.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is, of course, it's less efficient. So it's taking you more swings to get to the middle of the block. And again, I know that Andrian would love to have that chop back again, because if she could chop that a little bit cleaner, she would have taken that record down.
I think so too, yeah. Those smooth scarfs, as we call them, those clean lines, boy, that makes all the difference in efficiency when it comes to cutting through those logs. But still, a good time. You know, probably our top time right now. We'll take a look at the standings here in a moment, but some great runs.
And the ladies coming up after this, again, they've watched all three of these heats, and they know that. They know there's a lot of wiggle room here to take down that national record.
Yeah, you bet. And these two could do it. It's our final heat of the standing block chop right here in London at the Western Fair. On stand number 1, please welcome Brittany McLean.
And on stand number 2, your reigning Canadian champion, Andrea Hand.
Both terrific standing block cutters. I would not be surprised if either one of them had been watching these heats, watching how this wood reacts. They know the log they have, they know their axes, and they are going to be chasing down the top time here today, and we'll see where it goes.
Both strong ladies. Brittany McLean just tearing up the Eastern Circuit. Andrea Hand back from down under earlier this year, so both these ladies capable of taking down that time.
I have been
athletes ready,
waiting
Stand
for this heat
to your
all day.
timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Into the block at exactly the same time. Mirror of each other here as they go into these blocks. They're going to put their drivers in here now,
boy.
and look at that. They're
She's
both
around.
around with side number 2 at 11 seconds.
Oh, boy.
The Canadian record is under assault in this heat. Both ladies sticking to their patterns. Driving them deep into this cottonwood, and now they're going to get set to start driving things off here. A little bit more work on the bottom.
Oh, he's going to take it.
Oh, Brittany McLean from Prince Edward Island.
What a race. Holy cow. What a race. Unbelievable. Both competitors, Rod, unofficially dropping the fastest time ever cut in the country. Both competitors did it. What an incredible cut. I've been waiting for that heat, and that did not disappoint.
Great job.
Yeah, we're going to get official time.
And we have 2 good cuts.
2 great cuts there by both competitors. Brittany McLean just edging out the Canadian champion from 2024, Andrea Hand. But what a start for her. But holy cow.
Brittany McLean is she's on a tear right now.
Yeah, she
she's
really
tearing
is.
up things in the East, and she couldn't wait to get back here at Nationals at the place she thought she should have been last year,
Yeah.
but had a
Well, she
tough
should have
block
been.
of wood
No
and didn't
doubt
get in.
about
And
it.
she's going to make the best of her time here this year.
Yeah, I think she's coming in with a bit of a chip on her shoulder, maybe. No pun intended. An incredible competitor, clearly tearing up the Eastern Circuit, as we've been saying, and shows up here today, and she's delivering. Second place, I believe, in the stock saw so far. Now it's looking like a win in the standing block, and Andrea Hand right there with her, just flipping those results. So these two are trying to run away with this. 2 events down. Man, oh man, what a start. What an absolute start. Holy cow. Brittany McLean just leaning into those hits around the block in 11 seconds. Holy cow. Amazing
Can't wait
front.
to hear what she thinks about that chop.
I mean, it all came down to a hit in the end. They were just stroke for stroke. Either one of them could have taken it. And man, congrats to Brittany McLean on what appears to be a new national record.
So that wraps up the ladies' standing block chop. They're going to get their saws out now and get ready for the next discipline. But awesome to see that last heat. What a great race. Very, very close. Both ladies with personal bests. So they'll all be happy with that. Andrea, I know she probably would have wanted to take that one home, but boy, she's got her hands full with Brittany McLean. She's a great standing block cutter, strong lady, and really putting everything together in that chop perfectly.
They're 31.86, official national record. You bet. What a great run there. Brittany McLean setting a new national record, 31.8 seconds, 8.6. Let's send it over to Sterling, the chat with Brittany McLean.
Brittany McLean, 31.86, a new national record in the women's standing block. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I had a scoop and a couple missed hits, so I would have liked to get those back, but all in all, pretty happy with it.
Absolutely. Now, clearly, the standing block looks like it must be a strong event for you. Tell me, how much time have you put in to get this standing block to this stage?
Oh, yeah, I train almost every day. It is a strong event of mine, and I do really enjoy it, so yeah, I train it a lot.
All right. Well, it looks like all the training's paid off for you, but we've got the single buck coming up next, so don't go away. Nailed it.
There we go. Sterling Hart, Brittany McLean. Sterling knows what it's like to set a few records in this sport, that's for sure. But how about Brittany McLean setting a new national record with 31.65 seconds right here in London at the Western Fair in the standing block chop. Incredible stuff there, Rod. And we're going to send it over to our next discipline, the single buck.
The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
So the next event, the single buck, and again we have some phenomenal lady sawyers here. Eastern Canada known for its single bucking. two of the men that make these saws, J.P. Mercier, Donald Lambert from Quebec. They have these ladies have these saws, so let's see them run them.
Yeah, you bet. The first heat of the single buck, it's going to be on stand number 1, Marie Durieux.
And on stand number 2, Megan Creswick.
All right, our competitors are ready to go. Big race here, Rod. What can we expect to see in this heat?
Well, right now the ladies are going to be setting their saws. They get what's called a starter cut, and that's it's about 34 centimeters into the top of the log. You'll see the official steel judges here measuring that, making sure they both have the same amount of cuts. We've got a lot of J.P. Mercier blades here. I know that Megan will be running one. He's one of the best filers in the world, so we've got some really fast saws here. Bench number 2, Marie Durieux, also has quite sure it's a Mercier blade, so this should be a really great race in our first heat of the single buck.
Yeah, personal best there for Marie Durieux. Happens to be the national record, 28.31 seconds. Set at the Nordic Championships earlier this year. Congratulations to her. But I feel like, Rod, we may see that time drop here today.
That's my prediction.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
They're sawing Western white pine here in this first heat. Actually, all of our heats, as they get into what we call now the fattest part of the log, the big wood we call it. And they want to keep that saw moving, use the full length of the blade, which both ladies are doing really well here right now, using the full blade. As they get through the big wood and out into the bottom part of this wood, they're going to be driving things off here momentarily. 28 seconds, a national record. And there it is, Megan Creswick.
Yes, sir.
Great time. It's a personal best for her.
Personal best. We'll have to wait on the official call, make sure it's a good cut, and see what the time stands at. But unofficially, looking like we have our first national record broken in the single buck for today.
And we've got 2 good cuts.
Yeah, you bet. 2 good cuts there. Head Judge John Russell making the call. Great to see. Fantastic run, both of those competitors.
Nice to see Megan settling in now after that stop saw. So now she's finding her pace, and again, loves the single buck. Did a great job there, ripping that one off.
Yeah, great job for her. What a great start in that event. You can tell she likes the single buck, obviously trained that one a lot, and we'll see what that time settles out to be, but boy, 26 and change unofficially. I mean, that sets a new national record. Great stuff there for her. Let's send it over to Sterling Hart with Megan Creswick.
All right, Megan, a new national record. Maybe you were telling me earlier that maybe this isn't quite your strongest event, but it's looking like it went pretty well for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I mean, I had a few hang-ups. Of course, thank you to J.P. Mercier for the saw. I mean, it's a great saw, and yeah, cut well.
Yeah, so you said that you pretty much borrowed this saw from J.P. Mercier, so you probably haven't had a chance to train with it. It's looking like it all worked out for you in the end, though.
Yeah, I've only used the saw once before, so it works well.
Well, there we go, a new national record, but we've got more heats coming up, so let's see if that thing continues to fall.
Yeah, you bet. Some great sawing there. Megan Creswick, congratulations to her. Officially 26.68 seconds, taking down a new national record in the single buck. But boy, Rod, we've got 3 more heats of this. We're just getting started. It's the first heat.
First heat. We got some great competitors and fast saws coming up here in the next 3 heats. So I bet you that national record will drop again. That's my prediction, I'll tell you.
I mean, it very well could be. We talked about it earlier today. It used to be in the single buck that you would have an assistant. They'd be up there putting a wedge in and pushing that cookie away from the saw, reducing that friction. Now the time's a little slower without that assistant, so you're starting to see the time's a little slower, of course, but it opens the door for more records, and that's what we love to see.
We're going to see some here at the Western Fair, no question.
Boy, our next competitors, they are chomping at the bit and ready to go. Heat number 2 with a single buck on stand number 1, Caitlin Cumberland.
And on stand number 2, our new Canadian record holder, Brittany McLean.
2 fantastic competitors.
So again, the key to this is running the whole blade and keeping it as level as you can. If you rock that saw a little bit from side to side, one of those rakers may catch and you'll see the saw actually bind up in the cut. They don't want that. They want their saw to run nice and smoothly, full length of the blade, and get down through that as fast as they can. And two great single sawyers here from Eastern Canada. Brittany McLean from Prince Edward Island and Caitlin Cumberland from Quebec, New Brunswick. Caitlin, of course, being trained by the Cumberland brothers. We're going to see them tomorrow.
Yeah, you bet. Men's Pro Championship coming up. But right now, it's all about the women's division, the women's pro division, and we're seeing the best in the country go head-to-head. And man, oh man, God, I love seeing the national record, don't you? You can't beat it.
No question.
I mean, it's the fastest that it's ever been done in the country, and we're seeing it right here in London.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both ladies off and pulling a little bit of a stick at the top, but they're into it really well. Running nice and smoothly here, big long strokes. Doing a great job here as they get down into the center of this block. Both of these saws sinking through this wood beautifully. Little bit of a sticky there for Brittany McLean as one of the rakers catches, but she's back in the groove here now. That saw's loving this wood. Both these saws sinking fast.
Oh boy. It's not often you see a tie in the single bucket rod. What a close finish there. It all came down to that last pull. Caitlin and Brittany. What a race.
Again,
hungry. The saws looked hungry in that
very
wood. Heavy. And wanting to take out maybe a bit too much wood per stroke. I'm not sure, but boy, good close race.
Well, again, we've said that Western white pine a little bit corky at times, so that can sometimes grab at those crosscut saws. So makes them actually have to pull a whole lot harder. Oh, as we see a yellow flag in the air, that's not good.
So what they may be checking for, we'll have to have a closer look. But often what they'll look for, Rod, is to see whether or not they cut that final fiber. You can see Kate Cumberland's cookie kind of fall off to the side. And as you know, if there's still wood that she could cut, she has to cut it. But often when it's that flimsy like that, it just kind of falls off. It shouldn't need to cut.
So good on the judges. They're going to take a little bit closer look, but I don't think it'll take them too long to figure that one out.
We're going to have a video review on this stand here.
Okay. Having a closer look. We've got a fantastic judging team. They want to make sure that each competitor is competing fairly with another, that no one's getting an advantage. So our judges are going to have a close look at this one, make sure that it's clean. But I think Brittany McLean's a little sigh of relief there. So, okay, well, they're not looking at me, so, you know, I can think about the next thing.
Yeah, I'm sure Katie Cumberland's rolling her eyes saying, man alive, another event. And, of course, our judges here to your left, to the left of the stage, are taking a closer look here at the video replay. So all three official STIHL judges taking a quick look at the video review to see if that wood was cut or not. Both ladies up on stage pretty happy with their results. Again, that was a personal best for both. And they were right on that national record, 28 seconds and change.
Yeah.
And they were just both of them 28.99 unofficially. So
it was two solid cuts. Two solid cuts. I mean, you're right in that striking distance of a national record. There's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, really, it just comes down to was there a clean cut there for Kate Cumberland?
And actually, we have the official time right now, Ryan. They are tied. 28.9. That's the official time right now. Oh, it isn't.
Not quite.
Okay,
we're
not
getting
yet.
the adjustments. We've got one thing we're very fortunate with. We have a very accurate timing system here in the STIHL Timbersports series. They measure it down to the 100th of a second. So we confirm that everything's correct, and then we know for sure. So judges are having a real tight look at this one. We'll find out. Judges are heading back to the stage to make their call. Having a day. Off to a great start.
After an extensive video review, we have two good cuts.
All right.
Good news for both these competitors.
So,
excellent work,
yes.
Both those competitors, both Kate and Brittany. The strong finish. You see her brother, Nate Cumberland, two-time national champion in the men's pro division. He's up there giving her a hand, but man, That's a huge sigh of relief. I know you and I have both been up on that stage, and when that yellow flag comes out and you go into a review, you think, oh no, what have I done? What have I done? All right, let's send it back to Sterling with Kate Cumberland.
All right, Caitlin, it's the first time that we've seen you on this Timber Sports stage. Now, your name, last name, Cumberland, is kind of synonymous with greatness in timber sport. Your father, Rod Cumberland, obviously a living legend of the sport. Your two brothers, Nathan and Ben, both Canadian champions. It seems like a little bit of that is starting to rub off on you, isn't it? How are you pretty excited to be on this stage following in their footsteps?
Yeah, very, very excited. Yeah.
You should be. You put out great cuts today for your first time on stage. Do you feel nervous when you go up there, or are you just out there having a good time?
Oh, for sure nervous, but you know, it's been a lot of fun so far.
Well, it looks like you're having a lot of fun, and I can tell you from seeing the looks on your brothers and your father's faces, you're doing them real proud, and everybody's looking forward to seeing you in the Underhand shop.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Ryan.
All right, great stuff there. Kate Cumberland taking it down. She actually took down that heat by just about a second over Brittany, 28.70, her official time. Great job from Kate Cumberland. And we are just rolling here at the Canadian Championships. Boy, oh boy.
Boys, but we still have 2 solid heats left to go here in the single buck. Ladies that can take down the existing record that was set in that first heat.
Some ripping times here. Megan Creswick still leading the way from our first heat, but it's time for our third heat, and it will be on stand number 1, Caitlin Reed.
And on stand number 2, Andrea Hand.
Andrea's having a terrific day. She is doing very, very well.
Andrea really awesome with an axe. Can't remember how she made out last year in the single buck, but she'll want to be getting points in this. Again, this is probably her biggest challenge with the Eastern competitors here being so strong in the single saw. She needs to keep pace with these ladies. And again, doesn't need to win, but she's got to be in there. So Andrea will be really pulling hard to get a decent time. Caitlin Reed, the wife of Scotty Reed, and he is one of the ones that trains all of our East Coast single buckers, and boy, she knows how to pull a saw. So watch them in this heat.
Yeah, 2 terrific competitors. Excellent sawyers. This could be a make or break event here.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And both ladies are off. Nice smooth cuts when they're starting. That's awesome. And they're getting into this cut, boys. Oh, boys, they are rolling in this heat. Look at the big, long strokes running through this big wood really smoothly. And they're getting down into the smaller wood already, staying right with it here. We've got 2 great times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
And who's it going to be? It's going to be Caitlin Reed by a stroke.
Caitlin Reed showing you how it's done here in London.
And as we predicted, looks like that Canadian record is under assault again.
You betcha. I think both those competitors took down that earlier time of Megan Creswick, but we'll have to wait for the call.
And we have 2 good cuts.
You bet, 2 good cuts. Head judge John Russell making the call. They love to see that. Andrea and Caitlin. Man, what a run. That's the second time today Andrea has been in a heat that finished bang, bang with a national record set. But that's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good company when you're standing in that heat.
Incredible. We keep saying the best ladies in the country, and again, you're watching some of the best women in the world.
Yeah, it's true.
At STIHL Timbersports.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely stellar runs there. Both competitors just smooth, solid cutting all the way through. You gotta love that run. All right, we're gonna send it over to Sterling Hart for a chat with Caitlin Reed.
Caitlin, a new national record in the single buck. It looks like you put a lot of work into this event. Talk me through that event a little bit.
You know, single buck, it's one of those events you just hope that you can run the saw smooth, use the whole length of the saw. And I had a couple of strokes, didn't feel great about, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with my cut.
Well, absolutely. And again, you've done enough, a new national record. How are you feeling going into this last event, the Underhand?
Underhand for me is definitely the event I look forward to out of this entire event. So we'll hope that it goes as well as it has been, but we have some really good Sawyers coming up here in this next round, so we'll see if that time holds.
Absolutely. Well, stay tuned. We're going to see if Caitlin can continue this momentum through into the Underhand chop.
All right, congratulations, Caitlin Reed. New national record, 23.27 seconds. Fantastic cutting for her, as you mentioned before. Wife of Scott Reed, another terrific single bucker. Someone we'll see tomorrow, but man, oh man, what an amazing cut from her. And Andrea Hand right there with her, just 0.3 of a second behind. Unbelievable cutting there, unbelievable cutting. You gotta be thrilled with a cut like that when you step up on the biggest stage and you put in your best cut. You know.
Yeah, you could tell she was very happy with that. But yeah, but man, as good as the sawing has been, look who's in our last heat.
Yeah. Listen, either one of these competitors, I know. Earlier today we were talking about, we saw them, they got their chance to test their saws in this wood with huge advantage. It's a great opportunity to say, okay, how's it pulling? Is it heavy, as we call it, where it's really pulling hard? Is it light? Is it free? Is it smooth? So all of these competitors had the opportunity to do that. I got the opportunity to watch Stephanie, and boy, that saw was running awfully smooth. So I know she's comfortable with that saw in this wood, and I bet you Andrea is right there with her. I've been really looking forward to this heat all day. But, man, that 23.27 is going to be an awfully tough time to beat, Rod.
Tough time to beat. Caitlin did everything right. No hiccups at all when she pulled that saw. But, man alive, I'll tell you, if anybody can take them down, Andrea LaSalle, Stephanie Node, both phenomenal sawyers at the single buck. Beautiful saws here today, and can't wait to get up on that stage and try them.
Yeah, absolutely terrific stuff we're seeing here today in London in our third of 4 disciplines, the single buck, and our final heat coming up. Oh man, this is the best of the best in Canada, the STIHL Timbersports Series at the 2025 STIHL Timbersports Canadian Championships.
So the new Canadian record we saw in that last heat, 23.27. Again, dropping that the old national record by, that's what? 5 or 6 seconds right now. So, yeah, really dropping it.
Well, I mean, we started the day, it was 28 and change, where we've had 5 times, I think, underneath that already, or 4 times. So that's the caliber of competitor that we're seeing here, as we talked about. We're also very fortunate. We have the best sawmakers in the world right here in Canada. A lot of these folks running JP Mercier's, some running Donald Lambert saws, some running Tuatai. But what you're seeing is these terrific saws run by terrific sawyers, and it ultimately comes down to the competitor, to the athlete, and their ability to do that event well.
Actually, looking at the blades that the ladies were running here earlier today, I think they were all JP Mercier blades out there.
Oh wow, no kidding. Okay, boy, how'd they get them?
That's a question.
Awfully challenging to do.
He's so good right now. It is. It's awful difficult to get a blade out of him.
World class stuff. Shout out to JP. Definitely delivering the best saw in the business these days. Certainly very fortunate to have him delivering saws to a lot of competitors right across the world.
Don Lambert, another one, putting out really good blades right now. He's
we've got Taylor saws out there as well. There's a lot of saws, but boy, it is a tough one. I mean, what's one of these saws run these days, Rod?
$3,000 for what these blades that you're seeing on stage right now. $3,000. Don Lambert actually filed the blade that our, I'm pretty sure our young gun at the rookies, young Anthony McLean. I can't remember now. I thought it was a Lambert blade that he was running. And of course, sorry, but back when Marcel Dupuis set the world record, that was a Lambert blade.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot. They're back and forth all the time right now. Good sawyers and good filers in this country.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, let's take a minute. I want to throw it back to Sterling Hart. He is a 2-time Canadian champion. Sterling, you're seeing this event from a different perspective here as a past champion. What stands out to you so far that you've been seeing in this competition? We're 3 disciplines just about down.
I got to tell you, in my new position here, Ryan, I haven't been this nervous to talk to girls since high school. I don't know if you've noticed or not. But, you know, at this point, I haven't checked the standings recently, but I think it's pretty wide open right now in terms of points. You know, we've seen some of the perennial favorites coming out. We've seen Andrea Hand have some victories. And some newcomers, Brittany McLean having a new national record in the standing block.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty interesting going into this final event of the underhand, actually.
Yeah, I think so. And even with this final discipline of the single buck, like that could shake things up too. Andrea Hand technically leading the way right now, but with another heat to go and some strong Sawyers, we could see it mixed up. When you're in a position like this and you're doing well in points, you've got one discipline left to go, and maybe you still have a heat left to go. What's going through your mind as a competitor? Are you able to kind of block out those other events in order to say, okay, I need to focus on this one at this time?
You know, I think it comes down to each individual competitor and kind of seeing where they are in the current rankings. You know, it's kind of the same as the men when it comes down to the hot saw. A lot of times you're playing a little bit of a math game, knowing what kind of cut you're capable of, seeing what the competitors before you are achieving. Do you really have to go for it, or do you just have to do a safe cut in order to get a victory or on the podium or whatever your goal happens to be? So, but you know, like going into this last heat of the single, both of these women trained together, and two of the fastest players we have in Canada, so I don't see it being this record could fall again.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I mean, there's a lot of strategy that goes in, as you say, thinking about, okay, where am I sitting in the standings? What event is coming up? Is it a strong event? Yeah, I mean, incredible stuff. And this is going to be the biggest heat. Thank you so much, Sterling. We appreciate your insights. Two-time Canadian champion. He's also a past world champion, Rod, in the World Trophy. But today, it is all about the Canadian Championship in the women's division, and we may very well see one of those champions coming up. So, Rod, what can we expect in this next final heat of the single buck?
Well, again, these ladies are no stranger to the STIHL Timbersports stage. So, you know, I expect they're just going to come up and do what they've always done. They've trained this a lot. They train together. And actually, Stephanie Note actually trained Andrienne, and Andrienne has trained who held the Canadian record at first, Megan Creswick. So it's really neat to see the ladies here from McGill. There's 3 generations there of competitors that have done incredibly well in the last 10 years in Canada.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're going to see 2 of them battle it out head-to-head here on the national stage at the Western Fair.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one thing we can say, we know with the way the standings are right now, with the points overall going into this heat and just the general standings, we know that Andrea and Brittany are still going to be in at least the 3rd or 4th spot going into that final discipline. At the worst, that's where they're going to be. And that is a terrific position going into that underhand chop, and both great underhand cutters. I mean, boy, it really is, you know, it's a 2 to 4 person race here potentially, but you know, not to be outdone, of course, Caitlin Reed having a great run here, setting that national record, obviously, in the single buck. Whether or not it stands after one more heat, we'll see. But boy, oh boy, I love seeing these competitors bring their best on the biggest stage, and we're going to see it right here, the final heat of the single buck. Please welcome on stand number 1, Andrienne LaSalle.
And on stand number 2, Stephanie Node.
All right, huge heat coming up. We've been building towards this. They're chasing points, Rod. They're chasing those coveted steel points. That's what it all comes down to. Who has the most points in the end walks home a champion. In order to do that, you've got to deliver your best on the biggest stage in the country, the national championships here in London at the Western Fair. Who's going to take it, Andrienne or Stephanie, in this heat? And overall, I can't pick it.
Tough to pick, I hear you. And again, both these ladies could be after another new national record here in the single buck. So 23-27 is the time right now, held by Caitlin Reed from Nova Scotia.
Yeah, former champion.
And she knows all about pressure here, and she's actually been doing great at the underhand chop.
You bet.
But right now we're going to see some single buck.
Final heat of the single buck coming up. Andrienne LaSalle, Stephanie No. This is not one you want to miss.
Ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
When they're off at exactly the same time, both ladies making big, long pulls with these single saws, and these blades are loving this wood.
Boy.
Let's cheer them on. 9 seconds, and they're only halfway through.
Oh, my.
What a cut here.
Oh, my.
As Stephanie No gets into the small wood, and there it is. She has to go back for a little more, and Andrea right behind her. How about that for times?
Incredible stuff here. She had to go back for that fiber, but she did pull it. And as expected, both competitors dropping that time. Unbelievable. Stephanie No, big hand for her. Even with that extra fiber, she was able to get it done. Right now, unofficially, sub 17 seconds. The fastest time in Canada. Stephanie No in the single buck.
What an exciting race. What an exciting race.
Love it. Love it. You want to see the best, and you want to see them compete at their best, and that's what we just saw, Rod. And we predicted it all day long. You know, you don't want to get ahead of yourselves, but my goodness, what a great cut. Personal bests all the way up and down the board.
That's
man,
unreal.
Oh, man.
The only one that didn't have a personal best was our previous record holder, Marie Giroux.
That's right, yeah.
Everyone else dropped their best time, so that means good wood and good blades.
Great stuff there, great stuff. We're going to get our official call from head judge, Jonathan Russell.
And we have 2 good cuts.
All right, 2 great cuts, not good, great, I'm saying. I'm calling them great cuts.
Phenomenal cuts.
We'll wait for that official time, but Stephanie No, it certainly looks like she has taken down a brand new national record. London, what do you think about that? The best of the best right here at the Western Fair.
And look at that.
Absolutely stellar stuff.
Stephanie No, less than 2 seconds off the world record in that last heat.
Just that close, Rod. Man, that is showing you the type of pace she was putting on. It was that extra fiber at the end that she had to go back and pull off. I don't know how much time that added. I'd have to go back and see. You'd have to see it in slow motion, but my goodness, was that enough? Was it 2 seconds? It was definitely a second.
I think if she hadn't had to go back, it would have been a world record. When I was watching the time tick off,
her saw was dropping. It looked great. And let's have a word. Sterling Hart and Stephanie No. Okay, just having some technical difficulties. We're going to throw back to them in a second, but man, I can't say enough about the single buck event. Let's take it through our overall after 3 disciplines.
Wow, what a tight race for the ladies. Oh, the ladies overall here. We'll get to that in a minute. There it is on the screen. Right now in that last heat, Andrea Hand sitting in first place right now with 20 points. Stephanie No, though, with that beautiful world national record, sitting now with 18 points. Brittany McLean also within striking distance with 17 points. And Andrea LaSalle, 16 points. So we've got a wicked battle here for the overall women's champion here at the Western Fair in this last heat.
Yeah, absolutely stellar stuff. Caitlin Reed in the 5th spot, 12 points. Marie Duria, 10 points and 6. Megan Creswick, 7th spot with 8 points. Caitlin Cumberland sitting in the final spot with 1 discipline to go. We've got a great race here. Andrea Hand, Stephanie No, and Brittany McLean with Andrea LaSalle battling it out after 3 disciplines here in London. Let's send it over to Sterling Hart with Stephanie No.
All right, Stephanie, a new national record in the single buck, one of your stronger events. Take me through that event a little bit.
First of all, big shout out to JP for making a phenomenal saw. The saw really cut nice. I struggled at the bottom from breaking the cookie off, so I had to go back and finish that cookie. But basically just cutting it with some slope, not heeling on your push, that really helped me make the saw sink more. I've seen some of the women go a little flatter and heeling the saw. I think that probably doesn't help as much to cut more wood. So it's a really technical event. You got to really follow that slope and cut through the bottom.
Well, just hearing you talk us through that event and how technically you break down that single buck, it's very clear that you've put in a lot of time, a lot of energy, and very deserving of that national record. So congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in this last event, the Underhand.
Thank you very much, Sterling.
All right, back to you, Ryan.
Yeah, huge congratulations. Stephanie No setting the new national record. That time has been adjusted. 18.14 seconds. That is your national record set here in the single buck. We said it all day. I think we're going to see it drop, and I think we saw it drop maybe 4 or 5 times just in that one discipline. Absolutely stellar stuff we've seen here today so far, Rod. 3 disciplines down. The single buck is done, and we have our standings. Andrea Hand, the reigning Canadian champion, she's sitting in the top spot by 2 points over Stephanie No going into the final discipline. Brittany McLean, Andre and LaSalle, all in striking distance. It's a 4-person race going into the final discipline, the underhand chop. What do you expect to see in this final discipline?
I was just thinking about each of the competitors and what their best events are. Man, we've got a lot of really good underhand cutters in this next event.
You do.
So, I know Katie Cumberland is her go-to, the underhand chop. Marie Giroux and Caitlin Reed, actually, as far as underhand go, Caitlin Reed has been tearing up the East in the underhand chop the last few shows that we've been at.
Yeah.
Stephanie No, 2 years ago, we saw her and Andrea Hand going head-to-head in the final heat in the underhand chop.
That's right.
Brittany McLean also strong in the underhand chop. So that could really throw our points into disarray.
Yeah.
It's going to be our battle for the overall here. This is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, Rod. This is a really, really close field in this event. Underhand chop tends to be the first discipline that you learn in lumberjack sports and timber sports early on. So it's one of the ones that they tend to be strongest in. And quite honestly, I mean, we've got some of the best underhand cutters, not just in Canada, in the world here today. We really could see something special this afternoon. But man, oh man, what an incredible competition so far. We're blasting through this. 3 disciplines down, 1 discipline to go. We're into the underhand chop for the women's championship, and it all could come down to this one discipline.
And let's talk about our Canadian ladies as far as the international stage goes. Like, we've sent our women over. I remember a few years back we sent who was West Coast, our champion, a couple of years ago. Trying to remember her name. Sent her over there. She set a new world record at the Worlds. Stephanie No also went over to the Nationals, to the Worlds. Also an incredibly strong competitor. So the Canadians aren't only strong here, and of course this is a good testament to how well our ladies have been coming on. They're so close right now, but when they go to the Worlds, they're real contenders at the Worlds as well.
Yeah, you bet. And it looks like we're ready to go, Rod. Our final discipline, let's take a look at the underhand chop.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
All right, gang, we're here and ready for our final discipline of the Women's Canadian Championship in London, Ontario. Please welcome in heat number 1 on stand number 1, Megan Creswick.
And on stand number 2, Caitlin Cumberland. National record in this event, 26.2 seconds, held currently by Andrea Hand.
Okay, well that is an interesting precursor leading into this because she's leading the way. But man, oh man, it all comes down to the underhand. You see those flat spots in the log? They've cut those out earlier to make sure that they have a nice flat footing to stand on. Cut halfway through one side, turn to the back halfway through the other, sever that log, completely cutting each fiber, and hopefully do it fast enough to earn some coveted
Athletes
steel points.
ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
Both into the blocks, swinging hard as they get these first big chips out. Great pace by both ladies here as they get down. They know this is the last event, so they're going to leave it all here on stage. As they get into the small wood and start driving. Kate Cumberland, first one to make the turn to side number 2. Her axe is loving this wood. Megan right behind her. We've got a great race here in our first heat of the underhand. And they're loving this cottonwood as they get down into the small wood. Kate Cumberland getting ready to drive things off. Hey, how about that?
Great cut.
Megan Creswick still sticking right with it as she gets into her small wood. She's going to look to drive things off here. Doing a good job breaking the top and then working her way to the bottom. She's going back for 2 more chip swings, and now she's going to drive it.
There you go.
This block giving her a little bit of struggle, but there it is. Megan's done as well.
Yeah, good cut. Kate Cumberland really was moving that axe well. She had a little step off there at one point, but she stayed with it. And I got to be honest with you, Rod, 31.5 seconds unofficially, 31.5. Knowing what that record is and knowing how that would reacted to that axe, boy, I'd say we once again may have a striking distance. But great job.
And we have 2 good cuts.
Yeah, terrific cuts. Megan, Kate wrapping up their day here. Their first time on the STIHL Timbersports Canadian Championship stage. Big hand for both those competitors, those athletes. That will certainly not be the last time we see them on the stage. That's just the first of many years of competing, I think, ahead. Hey, Rod.
So only 5 seconds away from that national record, Katie Cumberland.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's it's 3-4 swings and a clean turn. But let's have a quick word with Kate Cumberland and Sterling Hart.
All right, Kate Cumberland, your first STIHL Timbersports final in the books. From the looks of that underhand, I'd say the Cumberland genes are continuing to run strong right through the youngest of the siblings. You got to be happy with that cut.
I mean, there's definitely some things I would change. Obviously, there's always things, but yes, I'm happy with it.
I think any competitor will tell you the same thing, that you're never going to go through a day and everything is going to go perfectly. You had a little mishit or 2 on the front, but you went around and you cut so strong on the back. To have the presence of mind to keep cutting like that, I think you've done your whole family proud.
Yeah, definitely hear my brothers shouting as loud as they possibly can.
Absolutely. So again, great job on that underhand, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Absolutely terrific job. She has a promising future ahead of her, Kate Cumberland. You know her well, I think, Rod. Hey, you've had the opportunity. You've had the opportunity, Rod, obviously, to train Kate, once or twice over the years. Great job. That was a heck of a cut. Officially 31.12 seconds. I mean, that's a great way to finish the show. You got to feel good about that first time on the stage.
Yeah, pretty great to see her. It is. It warms your heart to see her up there and swinging that well.
Yeah.
Again, she spends a lot of time working on a bee farm, so not a lot of time to practice. And I know that she'll want a few of those events back, but she'll go home pretty happy with that time in the underhand chop. And talk about putting a bit of pressure on the ladies to come. Like that was a good job.
Yeah. That's exactly what that's just what I was thinking. I mean, that is a great time, and it shows them that they're going to need to put their work in these next heats. Great job, Kate Cumberland, and must mean something to you. That's your 3rd child on the STIHL Timbersports stage. I don't know what you're feeding these kids, but man, it's working out. We're going to see Nathan and Ben tomorrow in the Men's Pro Championship. Big shout out to Kate, and a great job by Megan Creswick as well. Good job today.
Yeah, personal best for Megan, so she'll be happy with that as well. She's lowered her personal best. So you gotta love it when you see those PBs. It means the wood's good. So hats off to Mitch Hewitt for providing the cottonwood. It's chopping
stuff
really well here, and I'd say that national record in the underhand is, I think it's up for grabs.
Oh man, it's hard not to think it. I mean, I feel like we're, people might think, oh, maybe you're jinxing it by saying that. I don't think so. We've called it several times today. We're gonna stick with it. Oh man, what a great day here in London at the Western Fair, but we're not done yet. We've got another heat of the underhand chop coming up on stand number 1. Please welcome once again Underhand LaSalle.
And on stand number 2, Stephanie Node.
Okay, either one of these competitors is capable of taking down this event, Rod. We've seen it. We've seen Stephanie with some absolutely remarkable times in this event. Former world record holder. It's, I mean, really, it's a pick 'em at this point, but I don't tend to bet against people that have 2 national titles behind them.
Both good underhand cutters, Stephanie and Andrian, and of course, Andrian's going to want to put it all out here on stage as well.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off. Second heat of the ladies' underhand chop. Both ladies getting into the block, swinging as hard as they can. Look at the big, long swings from Stephanie Node. Andrea a little bit quicker pace, but it's Stephanie Node, the first one around to side number 2.
Oh, my. What a log.
And that axe is loving this cottonwood as she gets down to the smaller wood, putting her big drivers in. And there it is.
Woo! What a cut. What a cut.
Andrea right behind. Personal best as well.
Unbelievable, Rod. We'll have to wait on that official time, but unofficially sub 25 seconds for Stephanie No, beating her previous personal best by nearly 3 seconds and setting a new national record. Unofficially, we'll wait for that time, and wait for the official call, obviously, from head judge John Russell. But man, what a cut. Boy, she was around fast.
Unreal. Her axe just loved that cottonwood. It was sinking right to the eye every time. She swung it. She followed her lines beautifully.
Two good cuts.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you want to hear. Great cut from Underhand. Smooth through the log, a 31 and change. But man, Stephanie No, she was coming with an absolute force behind her. I mean, that is just what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. And man, the two-time national champion showing us how it's done in the underhand chop.
She knows she's within striking distance for the overall championship here today, and she put it all into that underhand chop, puts herself in a great position. Also like to say, Ryan, the world record right now in the underhand chop, 22.72 seconds.
Boy, I mean, that's a fast time. That's not a whole lot faster. I mean, she was on that pace, and you know, she had a smooth turn. She had a great front, and you saw it in those first few hits on that backside, lifting a huge chip out of there. And immediately it was like, this is in striking distance. And I think we need to hear from Stephanie No and Sterling Hart.
All right, Stephanie No, 23.98 and a new national record. But I was just sitting here talking with you off camera for a minute, and the first thing you said to me was, I missed 2 hits and I should have had that world record. That shows the standard that you hold yourself to. But take us through that underhand chop.
First of all, it's beautiful wood. Thank you to whoever supplied the wood. Yeah, I ran a bit of a heavier axe that really liked wood. It was sinking a lot, but I couldn't pick up as much speed as I'm used to. And I was talking about those 2 hits that I could have saved. I'm pretty sure I could have just done 2 rounds on the first side and driven, but I went and took a chip. And because my top was not completely out, my axe hung a little bit at the bottom, so that slowed me down a little bit. But I think I could have saved 2 hits, but still very happy with that time.
Absolutely, and that's done enough to put you as our current leader. How are you feeling that your day went overall?
Pretty good. My back held, so that's a positive. I think I still need to do some work on my stock saw and standing block. The women here are exceptional, and they're really pushing the level up in Canada, which is really great to see. But I'm pretty happy with it overall.
All right, there you go. Words from our former Canadian champion and our current leader. Let's see if she's done enough to regain that Canadian title.
And what a cut there, Stephanie No. Big thanks to Sterling, but she just put in a time. Rod, 1.2 seconds off the world record. That is how good that cut was. Unbelievable work. Stephanie No showing you how it's done in London. And man, we've still got 2 more heats, Rod. We're not done yet.
We've still got some great lady choppers here, and I'll tell you, that time could drop.
Boy, unbelievable stuff, and we're ready to go with our 3rd heat of the underhand chop on stand number 1. Please welcome your former Canadian champion, Caitlin Reed.
And from Prince Edward Island, Brittany McLean.
Okay, so this is a later heat. They had the opportunity to already obviously chop a block in the standing and now see the cuts in the underhand. They've also had an opportunity to test their axes in the footholds. What are you expecting in these later heats? They know it's there. They know it's in striking distance.
And they've had a chance to watch the previous 2 heats. They know that Stephanie No didn't have a perfect chop, but a really good chop. So again, both these ladies capable of dropping this time.
I think you're right. Boy, what a cut by Stephanie No. They want it, and they gotta want it.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both ladies into the wood. Caitlin with a little bit of a stick there on her first swing, but Brittany McLean making no time here, getting into the small wood. She's flailing away here really well at this cottonwood. Her axe is loving it. She's putting her last few swings, and we call that a 1-1. But it's Caitlin Reed making the turn to side number 2 first. Big chips coming out. Cheer them on, ladies and gentlemen. Doing a great job here. Third heat of the underhand chop. Not enough to take down that record, but they're doing a great job here, getting those all-important steel points, and it's Caitlin Reed right behind her, Brittany McLean, both with personal bests.
Yeah, fantastic race there, both competitors. You saw Brittany a couple of sticks and then had that step off, but boy, that was just a really close, nice-looking race. And a great way to finish the day. Their axes were moving. They both put in a good competitive time. Not enough to take down that amazing time of Stephanie No, but we'll get the official word to see if these cuts were good from John Russell.
And we have 2 good cuts.
Yeah, you bet. Great stuff, both these competitors. Brittany McLean, Caitlin Reed, fantastic days here today. Not going to be enough to take home a title, but boy, nothing to be ashamed of there. Absolutely stellar finish for both those competitors. And man, what a great run here. And 1 heat to go. 1 heat of the final discipline. That's it, Rod. We're down to it. The final run. What a day. It blows past. I can't believe how fast this goes, all these competitions. Looks like we're ready to go. We're going to send it over to Sterling Hart with Caitlin Reed.
All right, Caitlin, that's your day in the books. You took out a victory in that heat of the underhand. How do you feel like that went for you?
I'm not happy with it, honestly. It's an event that I've been doing well at the last couple of weeks, and I think today just the nerves got to me, and I had some hits that went nowhere where they were supposed to, and well, that's what it is.
Well, it looked pretty good from where we were standing, but are you happy with how your day went overall?
I mean, you always wish you could have done better, but for the year and for the competitive level that we have here, I'm happy with how I did overall, I think, and hopefully next year we'll be better.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to seeing you back on this stage again next year, but stay tuned. We've got our last heat of the women's underhand coming up next.
Terrific stuff. Thanks, Sterling, and way to go, Caitlin Reed, finishing out the day with a great cut in the underhand chop. Got to be happy with that. Certainly picked a good axe for that cottonwood. Seemed to be moving it well. Anything that you can take away from that chop there, Rod?
Well, I'd agree with Caitlin. I know that she has been on fire in the East, doing really well at the underhand chop, and I know she's disappointed because she's been putting together some phenomenal chops. Yeah. But again, nothing wrong with that. She's got a good time. Again, she lowered her personal best in that, so she won't be too disappointed with that. But again, if I'm Caitlin, I want that chop back. I'm with her.
I mean, the thing is we've talked about it many times. All you can do is compete against yourself. If you come out and set a personal best, that's a pretty good day at the office. I mean, you've got to be kind to yourself a little bit there, too. I think the challenge becomes when you see a super fast time early on, everyone on this stage is a competitor. They're an athlete, and they're thinking, I'm going to beat that time. I'm going for that. And the moment you don't, you kind of get a little disappointed. But I hopefully, when she goes back at the end of the day today, looks at how she did, she'll go, hey, that wasn't too bad a run. I had a pretty good cut. Maybe not the one, but boy, what a day we've got here. And it's all wrapping up, and it all comes down to this final heat, the underhand chop. Please welcome on stand number 1, Marie Durieux.
And on stand number 2, your defending champion and current leader in the ladies' points, Andrea Hand.
It's a big race. It all comes down to this, and Andrea has felt this pressure before. This is how she won it last year. This is what it's come down to multiple times. She knows what it takes. She's got to lean into this, get her head straight, and put in an absolute cut, and she can do it. Marie Durieux, just her second time on the Steel Timbersports stage here in Canada. An absolutely stellar competitor. She's going to put on a good cut, too. I can't wait to see this race, Rod.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And both ladies into the wood at the same time. And both of them going with a great pace here. The Axes are loving this cottonwood as they get into the smaller wood. And it's Andrea Hand around the side number 2. Just over 11 seconds. She's gone national record pace.
Oh, my.
Doing a great job here. Look at that.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Andrea Hand, what a chop as Marie Giroux.
We may have it. Holy cow. We got to wait for the official time. Marie Duria wrapping up. But Rod, Andrea Hand may have just. Way to go, Marie.
Good chop by Marie Giroux, but how about that with Andrea Hand?
That may be. We need to wait for the official time on this. It's going to be awfully close. But Rod, we may have seen a world record. We got to wait for the official call from the judge, official cut. If she did that, not only is the world record, it's a back-to-back Canadian title for her. I mean, it all comes down to the best of the best on the biggest stage. And big shout out to Andrea Hand. We're going to wait for the official time. We see some tears up there. That is an enormous amount of work. I want to give a shout out. Andrea Hand, a few years back, she had a brutal sledding injury. We didn't know if she'd be back. And here she is, back, grinding her way through, fighting. She recovered. She built herself up, and she's become the best competitor she's ever been, the best competitor in Canada 2 years in a row. Huge, fantastic job. Andrea Hand just getting the final word from the judges. Jonathan Russell making his way up to the stage. They're having a close look at this one. They have to check the times, Rod. Boy, oh boy.
So video review again. That was a phenomenal chop. So they're going to take because this could potentially be a new world record.
We'll have that call in just a moment. Unbelievable cutting there. Oh, man. I mean, either way, we know she's done a heck of a job here today. But, man, Andrea Hand, you've got to be so happy coming off that. Unbelievable.
Okay. On stand 1, we have a good cut. And on stand 2, we have a new world record. It's a good cut.
21.65 seconds. Unbelievable. What a job, Rod.
Well, if anyone deserves it, it's Andrea Hand. She was down to the Sydney Royal this spring. She's hanging with some good guys at Brute Forge Axes. I know she's got some really good axes, and man, she put everything together when she had to. The pressure was on.
Yeah.
Not only did she win a national championship, she now has, and she dropped that record by what? Almost, we'll see the official time here, but
21.65 seconds.
Wow.
What a cut. And we're going to send it over to Sterling with our new world record holder in the underhand chop, Andrea Hand.
Andrea Hand, women's world record holder in the underhand. Explain how that feels.
Oh, that was great. That piece of wood came apart magically, and Brute Forge for the win on that one.
You've obviously put a ton of time into this. You've put everything into the training, the equipment. You've put your whole life into this. It's got to feel good to have that finally pay off and have your legacy stick in the record books.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, we all fight to be here, and we show up, and we want to lay down our best performance, and I really couldn't be happier with that. I'm also not standing up here without a lot of support behind me, and one of those main people is my partner, Brad Reed.
Absolutely. And not only a new world record in the underhand, but you are now the 2-time women's Canadian champion. Congratulations, and enjoy it. You've earned it, Andrea.
Thanks so much, Sterling.
All right, let's get that trophy off to this girl, Ryan.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Thanks, Sterling. Andrea, huge congratulations to her. Your 2-time and back-to-back Canadian champion, and capping it off with a world record, Rod. You cannot ask for anything better than that. She's the fastest to ever do it in the world in the STIHL Timbersports Series women's division. That is absolutely remarkable.
And she kind of glazed over how much work she's put into it. But this lady has actually invested a ton of time, a ton of effort into this, and that's what happens. When you do that, it pays off, and this is where you want it to pay off in the national finals. So great job there by Andrea Hand. Can't thank her enough. And boys, how about that there for the ladies putting the pressure on her before coming up into that last heat? I mean, she just wasn't going to walk into that and say, I'm going to run away with this thing. But there's, Caitlin Cumberland, first of all, dropping the time, had a really good time in that underhand. Stephanie Note then drops it by almost 8 seconds. So the pressure was on, and Andrea Hand showing us what she's made of, putting down a phenomenal chop in that underhand. That's what it takes.
Well, Sterling touched on it. He talked about legacy, and I think legacy is what you're seeing here now. Winning the championship is one thing, maintaining it, reigning champ, and winning it back-to-back is another. She's showing us that she's one of the best to ever do it. All right, let's send it over to our Timber team. We're going to hand out a few cookies from our event here today. We want to thank the folks here in London at the Western Fair. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got our award ceremony. We've also got a very special surprise for you. We're going to be delivering something amazing here on TSN Plus. We're going to be telling you about that. But it all comes down to it at the end. Our overall points. It is Andrea Hand who led the way and takes it home with 28 overall steel points. Stephanie Noe sitting in second at the end, 25 points for her. Andrea LaSalle, 21 points. Third place and getting a podium finish. Brittany McLean just missing that podium by 1 point. Great job by her today. Caitlin Reed, 16 points, fifth overall finish. Marie Duria, 12 points for her, a sixth place finish. Caitlin Cumberland with that great cut in the underhand. She earns a point, bumps up into the seventh. And Megan Creswick, her first time on the still stage, 9 points for her. Great day overall here in London. We see champions and solidifying their legacy. We also see new up-and-coming competitors making their way onto the stage for the first time. There's a span there. We've got two people, the first and second place now, each have 2 national championships, Rod. I mean, the pedigree is just so strong, and to me, that field tells me that the women's division in Canada is in just great shape for years to come.
Great shape and getting stronger. You look at our list here of our top 8 in the country. Marie Durio, Caitlin Cumberland, Megan Creswick, again, all up-and-coming stars here and showing that they can run with the big dogs here at the national finals. So Caitlin Reed still hanging in there, man, still doing incredibly well. And Brittany McLean, she came here to prove a point that she is in contention for a national title, 1 point away from the podium here. So great job by Brittany at the national finals.
Yeah, I want to give another shout out, of course, to our title sponsor, Boston Pizza, and of course our official travel sponsor, Toyo Tires. Big shout out, of course, to STIHL Canada. STIHL headquarters right here in London. We wouldn't have this sport, we wouldn't have the Timber Sports Series if it wasn't for STIHL. Amazing to have the support. And man, big thanks to all of our crew, of course, our judges, all of our team. Thanks to you there, Rod, joining me in the booth. Big thanks to Sterling behind the scenes.
You heard me, right?
And we're going to have a little chat. Sterling, how you doing, buddy? You just made it through the very first Canadian Championships as on the mic for us, no less. How you doing, buddy?
Well, nobody died. That's what we could say, I'm talking about myself. But what a competition, Ryan.
Yeah.
National record, continuing to be beaten. And then we cap it off with the final heat of the weekend, a new world record in the underhand. Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, you can't finish a competition better than something like that. You know what it makes me think of is back at Wasaga Beach, 2018, we had all those records broken. We just saw that in the women's division. This is, and we've been saying it over and all, this is the best women's championship we've had yet. Just so close, such a deep field. Who are some standouts to you in the future out of this? I mean, obviously you've got Andrea Hand, Stephanie Noe, they're right at the leaderboard, but I mean, man, oh man, there's so many competitors here that could have taken it today.
And you know what? It was pretty square across the board. Like, not everybody had as good a day as they might have liked points-wise, but you can see the potential in every single athlete that we had up on stage in nearly every single event. So I think there's a ton of promise for the future in this women's division. And it was just amazing to see. Like, I was sitting back here watching the underhands in the standing, and the power that these women are hitting that block with now is sensational.
It's so true. I mean, you saw those big, huge swings from Stephanie No. You see those powerful swings, Andrea Hand. But you were seeing it across the board. Standing block is looking better and better every time we see it. The single buck it's a close field. Underhand's a close field. Stock saw was just seconds apart. I mean, I really do think it's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter and harder to pick who's going to take it. Big congrats, obviously, to Andrea Hand on her second title. I mean, you know, to you, from your perspective, what's next in this women's division? How does it go from here? I mean, it's obviously going to get harder and harder for these competitors to come back and qualify through because it's just getting tougher.
Absolutely it is, but you know, that's one of the things we've seen through all of the Canadian divisions, not only the women's but the men's as well, is that we have such a plethora of talent here. You know, like we have had in the men's division throughout our field, we've had 5 or 6 different men's pro champions.
Yeah.
Same thing with the women's, we've had 3 or 4 different women's champions, and you know, it's an iron sharpens iron type thing.
Yeah.
A lot of these competitors, this isn't the only place they compete. They travel overseas, they travel across the world. And you know, for Canada now to be able to send these women and these men across the world and be able to take on the rest of the world and achieve amazing results, that starts right here at home with the Canadian Series. And you know, it's been great to see this season, and I think you're just going to continue to see it grow and grow.
Yeah, I love to see it. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, buddy. Iron sharpens iron. We've got great competitors, and they're making each other greater. I want to give a shout-out, big thanks to my man Sterling Hart behind the scenes with us today. Hope to see him back again in the future, but tomorrow we're going to see him in the men's pro division, leading, maybe leading the way in some points. We'll see. I don't know, Sterling, what do you think? How you feeling about tomorrow, pal?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty excited to put down the mic and pick the axe back up. You know, it's what I've done the last 17 years here for STIHL. But this was an amazing opportunity for me to jump in, and you know, hats off to everybody that makes this whole production run.
Yeah.
You know, from the TV to the announcers, the judges, like watching the whole machine work. And you know, that starts right from the top and filters down. It's why our athletes have had success, just everybody putting everything they can in to make this a wonderful event. And we want to thank the Western Fair for hosting this event. And I think we just keep going onwards and upwards from here.
Yeah, for sure. It's we've got a big weekend yet ahead of us. We're just getting started. It's the Women's Championship, all wrapped up here, about to go to our podium ceremony. Tomorrow, the Men's Pro Championship, 1 p.m. Hot Saw Showdown on Sunday, 1 p.m. But let's throw it up to the stage. Big thanks, Sterling Hart behind the scenes. And we're going to welcome once again to our stage our official judging team, Darren Colford, Danielle Koch, and our conducting judge, Jonathan Russell. Big thanks to them. We have a fantastic judge team here in Canada. They did a great job today. Took a close call at a few. Rod, obviously, that world record, they had a real close look at that one, and thank goodness they did. They made the right call on that. Big chance, big job to them there. Fantastic work.
Also, need to thank all of our athletes, right from 8th place right up to 1st, so we wouldn't have a competition without them. Great job for the work they put into it. Coming here, flying all the way from both ends of the country. So big hats off to them.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and welcome our competitors that from the 4th to 8th spot, no particular order. Big thanks to, please welcome them back once again, Megan Creswick, Caitlin Cumberland, Brittany McLean, Caitlin Reed, Marie Duryea. Great job by all those competitors here today. Big hand for them. Working hard here in London at the STIHL Timbersports Canadian Championships. May not have made the podium, but boy, they did their best on the biggest stage and competed great here today. And Rod, we've done it. We've made it through, and it's time to present our 3rd place finish on our stage here in London, presented by Jeff Loosemore, the marketing manager for STIHL Limited. Please welcome Andrea-Anne LaSalle. What a day for her, Rod. Just stellar stuff. 21 points overall, earning her that spot, just edging out Brittany McLean, I'll add. But she looked great all day. She had some fantastic finishes, especially in the single buck. Second place overall in the single buck. I mean, she's got to be happy with that. Just a big day for her.
Nice and consistent, very consistent. That's what you need to be standing on the podium, and she showed us how that was done. Consistent finishes all day and gets her a third place overall. Great job to Underhand.
You bet. Our second place athlete presented by Reg Ash, the CEO of the Western Fair. Please welcome Stephanie No. Again, a fantastic day for her. She did everything she could do. She put in a national record in the underhand chop, her final run of the day. And I mean, it was a great cut. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it was Andrea Ann that did it. But big shout out to Stephanie No. She's a two-time national champion. We're going to see her again in the future for sure, and possibly taking home another title.
Also takes home with her a national record in the single buck. So doing a great job there.
Yeah.
Good
Fantastic job.
Yeah, good day today for Stephanie No.
Oh, great day, great day. National record in the single, set a national in the underhand, but it was stolen away by our Canadian champion, presented by Dave Warren, the president of STIHL Canada. Please welcome back. She is the new world record holder in the underhand chop and your two-time Canadian champion, Andrea Hand. What a day. What a day for Andrea, showing us what it means to be a champion. We talked about it. It's legacy. It's earning that spot again and again. Incredible stuff. Really and truly the best in Canada right now and the best in the world in the underhand chop.
Putting a pile of work in and getting rewarded for it here. It's great to see. And boys, I know that the ladies from around the world are watching the Canadian Championship here today, and they know they're going to have their hands full with Andrea Hand, the new two-time Canadian champion.
And of course, the ceremonial. They're putting those trophies away, Rod, because of course we have the ceremonial, a champagne shower. We're getting the safety glasses. Safety is paramount in the STIHL Timbersports series. Even in celebration, we make sure that everybody's safe. How we go. Big congratulations, big hand for your champion, Andrea Hand, and all of our competitors in the women's division. She's hiding out, trying to hide those eyes. What a great championship we had here today. Just spraying it around. We are precariously close. We're very close. Oh boy, red wine. That is just, yeah, we've gone with, looks like a spicy Merlot to spray our champions with. What is that? I think it's a Bordeaux. Is that a port?
I think they're going to save it and actually drink it instead of spraying it around.
We've gone with a nice finishing red wine. Yeah, great job today. Big thanks to our audience. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to come again tomorrow, 1 p.m. for a men's pro championship. Same place, same location. We want to invite you to follow this show later this year. We can relive it all on TSN and TSN Plus. And of course, check out our brand new behind the scenes series, Beyond the Cut, featuring Stephanie No and some of our other competitors that you'll see tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed the STIHL Timbersports series. Big thanks to our crew. Big thanks to our team, Sterling Hart, Rod Cumberland, myself, Ryan McIntyre. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
That's what that is. And Jeff's been doing it forever, and that's why he's now really coming into his own, coming into his prime.
It makes the tree roll on top of the stump.
So if you're not holding it down as you push in, the nose is going to drop.
Yeah. That was awesome. I mean, you come out here to win, clearly, or why do you show up? But if you're gonna lose, and the person that you lose sets a world record, you just can't not be happy. Like, That was my genuine reaction. I was that happy for her, and still am, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it. I sure did. Yeah. I knew that she had done something. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew that she had set some sort of record there.
This final heat of the underhand chop between Andrea Hand and Stephanie No, a great gesture of sportsmanship between Andrea Hand and Stephanie No. These two are very fierce competitors. They know what they came here to do, but still consummate professionals between the two of them. We always are excited to have them out on the stage. They give us a great show and hopefully going to give us the best heat of the day.
If either one of these competitors can break that time, set a new national record, they will take home a national title. Otherwise, it's all up to Allie. This is a close race, as good as it gets right here in Canada.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Here we go, folks. It's your last heat of the underhand chop. Look at the speed of Stephanie No on stand number 2. She's using her pace, and Andrea Hand is using her strength. Keep it going. We're at the 12-second mark, and Stephanie No is turning to the other side. 37 seconds is the time to beat. You got to cheer on your athletes, folks. Who's it going to be? Stephanie No or Andrea Hand? It's going to be close, folks. And it's Stephanie No! Keep it going for Andrea Hand. 34 seconds. She's got it. Wow. Incredible chopping from both of our competitors, Andrea Hand and Stephanie No. What a privilege to see these two incredible competitors up on this stage, showing us exactly the meaning of haste. And it looks like we have a yellow flag. Judges are reviewing video. Hard to tell who the yellow flag is for because it was thrown right in the center of the stage.
It's so close.
Looks like it might be a jumped gun on this one. And exactly. That could result in a DQ for either Stephanie No or Andrea Hand. Looks like it might be Stephanie No.
That time stands though, Lindsay. That is an incredible new national record. 28 seconds and change. How about that? Good or not, big hand for Stephanie No. You're seeing the best of the best right here.
But nothing like making our competitors sweat in the last heat, in the last discipline, here at the 2023 Steel Timber Sports Canadian Women's Championship. And like we said, these competitors cannot start chopping until the go of go. It's very official here at Steel Timber Sports. We have video review, but it looks like our judges have finished looking at the video and are heading back to the stage for their final result.
Okay, stand 1, we have a good cut. And on stand 2, we have a new world record. It's a good cut.
There we go! A new world record in the underhand chop going to Stephanie No of Brigham, Quebec. Absolutely incredible to have them here on the stage here at the Chilliwack Coliseum. We'll definitely be crowning our new women's champion in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere, folks. We got to hear from Andrea Hand and Stephanie No.
My ultimate goal would be, for sure, at this point right now, I'd love to win the world championship eventually. So I'm hoping it might happen, but the level in the women is really high, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I've been training a lot since the spring, and I'm really focusing on the disciplines that I'm the weakest at.
I think her biggest strength is she's consistent with everything. She always is on, and she makes very little mistakes, which makes all the rest of us sweat, I think, a little bit more. Yeah, she's just a great all-around competitor.